What's up, guys? Did you like that intro? Was that pretty cool? How's everybody doing today? I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for joining me on another TayJay live stream. Today is going to be a live stream unlike any other. I have some very exciting things planned for you guys, and it's something that you aren't going to want to miss. This live stream is going to be approximately 2.5, 3 hours long. We have 3 segments to get through. We have segment number 1, a year in review. We're gonna go over the things that I posted yesterday. I put up a bunch of polls for everybody's favorite things. So we're gonna go over that and review some of those things. That's hour number 1. Hour number 2, we're going to have another segment, and hour number 3, another segment. And those are surprises. Maybe surprise guests. I don't know. We'll have to see. And it's just going to be a fun time. So anyways, I'm going to go to the chat. How is everybody doing? AOP YouTube, how are you? Real Alex the Great, what's up? Devin, how are you? Stitch, nice to see you. Mr. Pete Nuggets, hello. JMTV, hello, how are you? Jason White, hello. CEC Fan Entertainment, what's up? Cheddar Chucky, how are you today? Multiple segments. All right, that would explain the polls from yesterday. Exactly. Yes, we're going to go through all of that. And instead of just talking about it, we're going to review some of it. Yes, I do have clips ready to show you guys. I'm using OBS, and in the last week or so, look who's Donge Trees deathing here. What does that mean? What does that mean? I have no idea what that means. I've been learning a lot about OBS and how to use it, and today I am putting my knowledge to the test, and I hope that everything works out very well. So, I hope you guys enjoy this. It's the main thing, that we all enjoy this. It snowed so much in your area, Mr. Peep Nuggets. That's crazy. Guys, who was here for last stream, TayJay ASMR? That almost made the cut for live stream moment of the year. But yeah, we're gonna get into all of that. It's so crazy. Devin, I have not gotten anything in the P.O. box. I've been checking it. Mr. Bob Tomato. Hey, yo! Mr. Bob Tomato. Get the CEC Legacy intro ready. I wish. I wish I had that. That would be legendary for sure. What's up, MJ Armstrong? Nice to see you. Vic Mercado. I think I said that right. Vic Mercado. Cam Fan. A Oreo Production. It means look who's back. Very nice. Very nice. Look who's back. Back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. You'll be getting something in your P.O. box soon. I'm so excited. Guys, can I say it? Can I say what I'm getting in my P.O. box? Over in this direction, you guys might see me talking to somebody. That is my lovely Rachel. Rachel, say hello from the distance.
Hello from the distance.
Yes, Rachel's in the distance.
I'd almost keep it a surprise till then, but that's me personally.
What? Keep it a surprise until then?
Yeah, that's me though.
You do have a point. It might be a surprise.
One heck of a live stream.
That was an interesting moment, said Mr. Peep Nuggets. Honestly, the statues on the Teletubby Kitty ride look stoned. They do. They look like they have taken a few hits of the peace pipe. Why are we talking about the Teletubbies Kid ride? I don't know, but I'm here for it. I made a post about it a while ago. Hello. Hi, hello from a distance. I'm Tika. I call you Stitch on here. Yeah, your name's Tika. I just call you Stitch because I see the name Stitch, and then that's the first thing. All right, Vic. See you later. Thanks for popping in for a little bit. Guys, we're going to get into it. So how many of you have been here for my live streams? I know a lot of you have joined recently, but how many of you in here have been here for most of my live streams? I started doing live streams about half a year ago regularly. I would pop in with live streams every once in a blue moon, but I started doing live streams a lot more regularly about 6 months ago. And I do them almost weekly, not always, but I try to do them once a week, sometimes a little less, but it's been a lot of fun. Cheddar Chucky, you definitely have been here from the beginning. I really appreciate your support, bud. You are amazing. You arrived at your destination, TayJay Productions Road. Look out for falling dumpsters. A falling dumpster sounds deadly. So guys, the live streams have been a lot of fun, and I think we're gonna get into the live streams first. I put up 4 options, guys. And I'm gonna have to kind of remember because I'm not looking at it. I put in 4 options for the top TayJay live stream moment of 2025, and I had the talk show segment, the spider scare, the milkshake dance. Yeah, I put that in there. And the Chuck's Arcade crash out. Crazy crash out, but you know what? You guys loved it, and so I decided to put it in. And runner up. Actually, you guys did not vote for number 1, the Chuck's Arcade crash out. Chuck's Arcade crash out was in fact number 2, and for those of you who missed it, here it is. Playtimes.com posted this article. Chuck E. Cheese wants to grow up. What's it like inside the new adult-focused Chuck's Arcade? I'm gonna start off right here, guys. These articles write what Chuck E. Cheese tells them to write. I mean, not word for word, but Chuck E. Cheese corporate sends out a press release and tells all the media what this is, and then the media talks about it. Chuck E. Cheese corporate really went and told everybody that they're making an adult arcade, an adult-centered arcade, an arcade for adults, a Chuck E. Cheese for adults. What part about this is for adults? Oh, the 5 not retro arcade games? I'm sorry, Rachel.
It's fine, just throw your pet at me.
I'm sorry. Listen, guys. I hate that they're calling this adult themed. There's nothing adult about it. What, the trampoline zone? Is that adult? You think my freaking almost 6-foot ass is gonna go on the trampoline zone? I don't even meet the height requirement, bruh. Adult themed? What's adult? What's adult? I mean, it's adult because you have to spend $100 to play 10 games? Is that adult? What's adult? The fact that you guys got retro merch at the grand opening, but in 4 hours you take it away and I don't even know if anybody could have taken it? What's adult? What's adult? You got Bella in there. Ain't no adult likes Bella. Ain't no kid likes Bella. What's adult? What's adult? I want to know. Why are you calling this an adult? Bro, let me tell you about that bait and switch. Oh my God, let me tell you about the bait and switch freaking merch, okay? Listen, I know that Mark Kufferman is not going to keep inviting me to stuff if I sit here and talk poo-poo, but I'm not going to sit here and bootlick corporate, even though some people like to say I do. I'm not, okay? You know what pisses me off? What pisses me off is when I go to make a video at your Chuck's Arcade because you're like, yeah, come make a video so everybody can see what Chuck's Arcade is about. And you have the merchandise counter full of retro merch. You got the lad sitting here. You got the Bolaire sneakers over here. You got t-shirts I've never seen before. That Mr. Munch t-shirt. And then it disappeared after the VIP event was over. Why? So obviously the VIP event was designed so when the people who they invited to come in did coverage of this, you would get the impression of what Chuck's Arcade is. They're trying to show the media to fool you that Chuck's Arcade is full of retro merch. So when you drive your 3 freaking hours to get there, because not majority of us even live near one, unless you're somebody that does. The majority of us are gonna have to drive like 3 or so hours to get to a Chuck's Arcade, only to find out that the only damn thing they have there is Bella plushies and stuff that you could have bought at your local Chuck E. Cheese that's 30 minutes away from your house.
You just drove 3 hours because you thought you were about to buy yourself some sweet Bull Airs. You just drove 3 hours because you thought you were about to buy yourself a Pizza Time Theater U2's plush that I missed on pre-order, so I don't get unless I pay like $100 on Mercari or eBay. Or these t-shirts I've never seen before. And I'm like on my video, oh my God, look at these. Wow, guys, wow, look at this. They're not there. It was a pipe dream. It was lies. It was a bait and switch. And all they did was they put our boy in a glass case, taxidermied. My heart's beating right now.
You're screaming.
Let's go to the yeah, we're gonna go to the chat here. Bro, that munch cert was sick. Have you guys ever seen the Peanuts, Charlie Brown, and what's her damn name? The chick that holds the football? Lucy. And then when Charlie comes to kick the football, she pulls it up and he fucking, oops, and he busts his head on the ground. Chuck E. Cheese, stop pulling the football out from underneath us. We want the merch. Sorry, guys. I crashed out a little bit. I'm not going to delete the live stream this time, though, after I crash out.
Guys, that was, oh my Lord. That was one heck of a crash out. Hello, everybody who joined in while that clip was playing. You guys were very confused. And CEC Fan Entertainment, chill out. The 2 live stream clips that I pulled were a little low quality. I'm so sorry, okay? I'm doing what I can. I promise you not all the clips I have today are that low quality, but the 2 live stream clips are kind of low quality. Nothing I could do about that. Some quality was lost when I had to email myself those videos. Everything else I have is on my computer. High quality for the rest of that, but I do have one more live stream clip, and it's actually what you guys voted number 1. T-Rex. Devin, chill about the P.O. box. I don't want to put you in timeout again, but you are just begging for attention. And please, Devin, don't make me crash out. We've talked about it. I told you I checked it and nothing was there. Please, I'm begging you to take a chill pill and either enjoy the live stream or go somewhere else. Please. Okay? Please. Anyways. Do I have to pay you for the TayJay ASMR video? That was premium content, $14.99, and you copywritten, what's that called? Bootlegged it?
Yeah.
You bootlegged it.
Pirated it.
It's okay. There's a shrimp in my P.O. box. That's crazy. Anyways, guys, you guys voted. That was number 2. Okay, that was not number 1. Number 1 is a lot shorter of a clip, but a lot more, well, explosive of a clip.
There is a piece of a Studio C beta stage.
Here's the torso for the Studio C. I bought that a few weeks ago, so stage.
Ah!
Don't fucking do that. What?
Wolf spider.
Where?
It just ran over there by the chair. It came out from underneath this freaking. Oh, I hate this time of year.
Here we go.
You guys literally just got my reaction on chat.
$14.99. The fuck you mean? We all saw it for free. It's a joke. It's a joke. It was free, guys. Free ASMR. But anyways, yeah, that was the spider clip. Yeah, wolf spiders are no joke. I am terrified of spiders. If a spider is in the shower, I will make Rachel come get it. I won't kill it.
Yeah, I hate spiders.
The shower is such a vulnerable time for a spider to show up. Guys, dear God, once a spider crawled on me while I was laying in bed. And that's gotta be probably the worst area to find a bug is in your bed. That's literally the last place I would want to find it. Yeah. I hate spiders with a passion. I would rather deal with a snake than a spider. God, I hate spiders. Your grandmother had that Mickey Mouse. It's a beautiful Mickey Mouse. I screamed for my own life. For my own life. And then Rachel didn't like that I screamed, and she got really scared too. Usually when I scream about something, she screams too because she knows that I'm screaming for a reason. Quick question. Agent, go ahead. Um, let's see what you guys are saying here. Where's the fucking spider clip? I literally just played it. I literally just played the spider clip. There's a mouse that has entered my home. I reacted similarly. We have mice in our garage. We laid out a bunch of bait. I'm not one about glue traps. I feel really bad if something gets stuck in a glue trap. Other than bugs, I don't really have sympathy for bugs. Unless they're nice bugs, like ladybugs or roly-polies. But yeah, no, we have bait in our garage. God, I would not want a mouse to get into the house. I would still rather deal with a mouse than a spider.
I can kill a spider better than I can kill a mouse.
That's true, but I'm gonna knock on wood. I'm gonna knock on wood on that one. Same thing happened to me a few years ago, but it was a roach. Those roaches be no joke. Those roaches be no joke. And the bigger the roach, the better for you. And that's because the smaller the roach, the more likely there is an infestation. Why did I say that so weird? An infestation. Ashton, I'm so sorry to hear that you're having a hard time right now. My question won't load through the chat for some reason. What's up, 80s? I don't know why that is. There is nothing held in the chat, so how did you not notice it was Chuck? You gotta remember your girl was looking through her camera and there were, yeah, no, people just like to give me a hard time about that. It's fine though. I really don't mind when people give me a hard time about the dough mixer thing because it's very valid. Just a very silly moment. Very silly moment for me. Is it okay if I name drop my... Yeah, go ahead. I don't care. I do not mind. I drew a rat as Chucky. Chucky was a rat. Chucky was originally a rat, and then he changed into a mouse one day. Because aren't rats cleaner than mice?
I have no idea.
Hey, rats, are you cleaner than mice? Let's take a look. Who wants to come out? Chucky? I think out of the three of you, Chucky's the cleanest of all the boys. Chucky, you want to come out? No? I don't think Chucky wants to come out. Alright, Jasper, what if I just yoink you? Yoink? So, I do have a rat here. Munch is gonna climb out of it. Look at him. Munch is gonna climb out. I do have Mr. Jasper T. Jowls right here. I think they're pretty clean. I had them swim in a soap bath the other day to get them nice and fresh and clean. But a lot of people are scared of their tail. I don't mind the tail. It's just a hairless tail. It's not that deep. But yeah, this is Jasper. All right, Munch, don't you dare fall out of that cage. I know, Munch. I know. All right, let me close up the cage here. Chuggy, I need you to get out of the way. There you go. There you go. Okay. Okay. Let's see what the chat's saying right now. You say that while you have severed mouse head in your... Yeah, I do have a severed mouse head in my house. But, guys, we need to get to the next segment. Gossinick, I see you're in the chat. Nice to see you. You're at work right now, but I'm going to have you in my ear when I'm making that bread. Oh, that's a legendary work shift. So... Gossinick, I don't know if you knew I had rats based on that reaction, but in case you didn't know, now you know. I do have 3 pet rats, Munch, Jasper, and Chucky. Take a wild guess to my inspiration for their names. Can't wait to see my boyfriend Alan next week. We're going to watch TayJay Productions at lunch. That is adorable. I love that. I love hearing that my videos are some people's safe space or... some people's happy place. I love that. That's what I've always wanted. I'm gonna cry. No, I was just about to burp, to be honest with you. Guys, I tried to dress nice today. I'm wearing my black sweater. My very nice dress black sweater. It's really not like much, but it's something. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Enjoy my black sweater. I hope you guys enjoy my black sweater. Making a VHS tape and a DVD of both of my Five Nights at Teddy's movies. Would you like one for free? You guys don't have to send me anything for free, but I do let people know that if you do want to send me anything, I do have a P.O. box listed in the description of my videos. So the P.O. box address is right there in the description of my videos. If you guys do want to send me something, you can send it through there. If it's too big to fit in my P.O. box, they will just hold it for me. They'll give me a ticket and I can go and pick it up. But it lets me know when there's something in there. So I don't even have to check regularly. It'll send me an email and let me know I have something to pick up. So if you guys want to send me something, go ahead. You're free to. But you don't have to. I'm not asking you guys to send me a darn thing. Only if you would like to. I always enjoy hearing from you guys, reading your letters, seeing what gifts you guys decide to send to me if you want. But it's definitely not something I expect. So I appreciate each one of you just for viewing. Pizza Dog, you wonder. Okay, so the next segment, we're getting into it. The next thing, I asked you guys what your favorite short was. I've been trying to post shorts lately. I don't post them very regularly, but I think the four nice burp. I think the four shorts that I had up were the Negan Bella interrogation, the Pokemon card collection short, the Chucky Bella attack on Bella, like Attack on Titan, but Attack on Bella, and then the more recent one that I just posted, where I did a front flip and said game. So that was actually not something that I was going to post originally. That was just for a friend, but I thought it was so funny I had to post it. So anyways, guys. Number 2 for the top short actually was the Attack on Bella short. Inspiration, just in case you guys didn't know, was from the very first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie. It's a scene where Norman Osborn, who plays Green Goblin, is hearing voices from his Green Goblin mask, and it's telling him to do things. So that's where I got the inspiration for this short.
Spider-Man is all but invincible. But Parker, we can destroy him.
I can't.
Betrayal must not be countenanced. Parker must be educated.
What do I do?
Instruct him in the matters of loss and pain. Make him suffer. Make him wish he were dead.
Yes.
And then grant his wish.
But how?
The cunning warrior attacks neither body nor mind.
Tell me how!
The heart, Osborn. First, we attack his heart.
We have to destroy her garden, guys. So that was the beginning of my legendary villain arc. I am now a villain in the Chuck E. Cheese story. What's my villain name? Guys, what's my villain name? I don't know. I don't know my villain name. I'm gonna have to think on that one. You guys are really good at coming up with stuff. But yeah, we first step is we attack her garden. Next step is we storm SPT on December 24th. That date is coming up. I can't wait. Sorry, I'm getting some Toby hair off of my thing here. Yeah, no. We attack Bella's garden that she loves so much. I attacked it. And now we storm SPT. And what does that have to do with Bella? Well, if there's anything Bella in there, we destroy it. Destroy it. Take the robots, which, by the way, David McKillips literally just posted on his Instagram some pictures of SPT, and I didn't see a damn animatronic in any of those. I'm just saying, I would not be surprised if there weren't any animatronics there. Yes, I did make a joke for legal reasons. I do have to mention that the Storm SPT is just a joke, but we are going to storm SPT on December 24th, and they can't stop us all. If we all show up, they won't be ready. So, yeah. Anyways, that was number 2. Number 1 for top short, you guys came in and voted, and it sounds like a lot of you guys liked the Negan Bella interrogation short.
Hi. You're Rick, right? I'm Negan. And I do not appreciate you killing my men. You are so gonna regret crossing me in a few minutes.
Evil. Evil. See? I'm literally evil at this point. It is my villain arc. I am a villain. I mean, I don't know why I bully Bella so much. I literally had someone get so mad at me that I had to block them off of a platform because they were so mad at me for bullying Bella that they were like going at me. And it was like, okay, I get it. Trying to explain to you it's just a joke, but some people really take their Bella love seriously, so hopefully once he calms down, I can unblock the human and we can go on with our lives. I can't believe it got that far. You Bella lovers, if any of you are in here, it's okay. You're allowed to love Bella. It's a safe space. I just hope that the Bella that you're choosing to defend is the Christmas special Bella, because all the other Bellas are poo water. I'm straight up poo water. They're poo water. The next thing and the final clips I have to show you on this special like clip showing thing is I had you guys vote for the craziest moment of 2025. Now, before we go there, I also had you guys vote on your favorite video of 2025, and to no surprise, the Dumpster High Series won. I think, what was second place? What was...
The best video?
Yeah.
Second place was the portrait bots at 17%.
Portrait bots. What percentage was the Dumpster Heist?
74.
74% of you guys voted Dumpster Heist, and then 17% voted the Portrait Bots. It's no secret that you guys really loved my Dumpster Heist series, and I definitely, if I'm in the right place at the right time like I was then, we'll do another one. The consensus is in. There was a lot of controversy after my Dumpster Heist series. A lot of people discussing whether or not I should have made it. I think at the end of the day, it all comes down to fandom rules. And I think that fandom rules are kind of, I don't know. Sometimes they get a little like too much. So it's like, I'm going to back away because this is not a part of a community I want to be in. I'm a fan of Chuck E. Cheese. But I don't want to be in this super cutthroat fandom where everybody is bullying each other and getting on each other. I know some people get harassed just because they have things, and that's crazy. And I ask you guys, if you're harassing people just for owning non-merch, don't. Be decent human beings. Be nice to people. That's all I'm asking. So with that being said, the rules I follow are rules of common human decency and morality. So I know a lot of you guys really like that series, so if I have the opportunity again, I definitely have some cool things planned for 2026 and some hopes and dreams. I think the best thing about my channel is I never know for sure what is coming. A lot of these things kind of happen out of the blue. I wouldn't have been able to predict to you guys that I was about to go see the Portrait Bots, and I did. I had no idea that was coming. It just became a thing that I was able to do. So let's go to the chat here. All the bots at SBT probably all died during their infamous spring cleaning. I don't think they even go to SBT. Until I get proof, I don't think they take the bots to SBT. They really don't care about the bots, and I really think they just destroy them off-site. I actually don't mind the Christmas special, Bella. I didn't say like. I said I don't mind. It still counts as liking, says CEC Fan Entertainment. At least the Christmas special, Bella, was cute. Correct, JMTV. At least CEC didn't get new Helen Cybers and Mitzi bots and put Bella in the legacy stores. I don't know. That idea scares me. The Dumpster High series is what got me into your channel. JMTV, thank you very much. Appreciate that. A Oreo Production says, okay, I'm bored. Bye, chat. Bye, A Oreo Production. Stitch fandom rules are lame. Yeah, I agree. You kind of start making weird rules because everybody's upset with each other. I don't get it. I really don't. Imagine bullying people over a kid's restaurant. That's what I say. That's swear to God. Swear to God. That's what I say. Would you like a VHS or DVD of my movies? Like I said, if you want to send it into the P.O. box, you can. I'm not asking you to. I'm not telling you you need to. But if that's something you want to do, my P.O. box is there. I played a CEC Roblox game when I walked in the showroom and saw a road stage and 3 stage bots were shoved into the boxes. Well, at least it was just the game, so people are allowed to use their imaginations. And could you imagine if 3 stage bots were in the road stage boxes? CC fan, I have owner, admin, and the Goofy Mall. Okay. We're getting into Roblox chatting now. Hot mic. Hot mic. Objock. If you're in the stream right now, I don't hate you. I just thought it was annoying. There you go. Anyways, guys, the top craziest moment of 2025. In second place was, if you guys remember when I went to the Toledo Chuck E. Cheese, one of the guys there that I was hanging out with made the craziest basketball shot I've ever seen at an arcade. All right, show off for the camera. You're gonna make it from right here, right?
No, if I don't make this shot, camera, I owe 25 push-ups.
Are you kidding me? Bro's got auto assist. That was absolutely insane. I have no idea how dude did that. He was so confident. He's like done that a million times, I swear. But how? How do you make a shot like that so confidently? He said he owed 25 push-ups if he missed that. I'm just saying, a lot of the Chuck E.'s hoops have the top. And that would have been impossible if it had the top gate. You know what I'm saying? I also have climbed into one of those Chuck E. hoops games before because the basketballs would get stuck all the time. And when I worked there, you would have to climb into it and get them if they were stuck like on the goal. So that is, yeah, definitely something. TayJay ASMR returns. Yes. Greetings, Cyberstar Chuck. How are you? Tay, did you hear about the fight that someone had with my... No, I did not. Bro is a hacker. That shot was crazy. That was dope. I'm mad the trick shot didn't make #1. The trick shot was legendary. Crazy moment. I mean, I don't know. I never know what's going to happen in my videos. I really don't. Gotta tell you, I love that you decided not to get them white minimalistic lights on your Christmas tree. I have incandescent lights over here around my... Oh yeah, it can change. We do have the lights that can change or twinkle or stuff like that. We just like to leave them like this. TayJay take Goofy Mall war attendance. What time? What time are you guys storming Goofy Mall? That sounds like it's gonna be a classic Chuck E. Cheese fandom Roblox experience where the entire thing is gonna explode. There's gonna be fire everywhere. I already see how that's going. All right, timeout. Go ahead. I tried, but at some point, MLG edit that clip like it's 2012. Guys, that was #2. That was number 2. The number 1 that actually won by quite the long shot. Okay, sorry, I won't do that again. Boo! The clip that won by a long shot was actually when I found this in the dumpster behind the Washington Street Chuck E. Cheese. Right now it seems to just be trash, from a distance at least. I know they've been tearing out a lot of the stage today, so maybe it's wood pieces from the stage. I'll check later for sure. Rachel's on her way. Oh my god. I don't see the rest of the costume.
I wonder if they're throwing away like the stage. I wonder if they throw away the other
Oh my. I've got the nose.
It's too big.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless. Guys, so I'm sitting here watching them throw stuff in the dumpster and I don't see anything of importance. Maybe it was just because I was too far away. I'm gonna check back on the video. Maybe you guys see it before I do while you're watching this video. I don't know. But yeah, they threw the Chuck untouched in the dumpster and I found it and it was a battle. Some people swooped in right behind me. Surprised I'm not hurt more. You know how many times I've like gotten bruises and cuts doing this? So worth it. A Chuck E. Cheese head. I can't believe it. It was insane, honestly. The moment I found that, I saw that head and I was just like, there's no way. There's absolutely no way that I'm seeing this right now. Something about finding a Chucky head in the dumpster. Surreal. What did you guys think when you saw that? Like, I'm still in shock that that happened. I don't know what I expected when I decided to do the dumpster heist. But I feel like it just worked out so well because day number 2, the previous day before that, I actually found the nose. And it's crazy to me that I found the nose because day number 1 was the same dumpster that I searched in day number 2. Day number 1, they threw out a lot of arcade games and just miscellaneous things. And day number 1 is when, and I didn't film a lot of this. I wasn't prepared for my film style when we did day number 1. I wish I would have filmed more. But day number 1 is when Rachel and I loaded a lot of arcade games into, well, I say a lot, but the ones that we got, we loaded the arcade games into the truck. And that same dumpster was then moved over to the other corner behind the store. And day number 2, when we came back, they had a fresh dumpster, but there really wasn't much in it. Or did they have a new dumpster yet on day number 2?
They were just moving it to get a new one when we
That's right.
filmed that clip in the nose.
That's right. So they were just moving the dumpster. And the dumpster was sitting over there, but it was the same one that we had went through yesterday. And I decided to look through it again because I did notice a few new things, like a file cabinet. So I was going through stuff and I saw the nose, which by itself just looks like a mesh half dome. I don't know how I knew it was the nose, but I knew. I knew it was the nose. I feel like that was... okay, guys. I feel like the fact that I grabbed that and knew it was the nose kind of makes up for my stupid dough mixer moment. Don't you think? Maybe not. But I'm proud of myself for that. So I kept it because I'm like, keeping the nose to the Chucky head is better than having nothing at all when it comes to the walk-around costume. I had no idea that the next day I would then find the rest of the head fully intact, a couple little cracks in it. But other than that, dude, fully intact. Crazy. So he had no nose, and I had the nose, and now he's whole again. It was meant to be. Sometimes things happen and it's just like, I guess it was meant to be. If you want to say how difficult was it getting the Chuck head, because in the video you said it was a battle to get it. It was. So on day 2, there were some other Chuck fans that started camping out by the dumpster with me. But I was positioned to where I could see the dumpster the whole time. They were positioned where they couldn't see it, but they were watching me. So they were basically waiting on my signal to turn around the building and come dumpster dive. So on day 3, when the workers were closing up and leaving, I knew I had to swoop in and try as hard as I could to find what they threw out, not knowing that the Chucky head was even there. And I saw the car of the other Chucky fans sitting there watching me. These people were not watching the dumpster. They couldn't see it from where they were. They were watching me. So literally the minute that the employees closed up, I put my car in drive and I started driving towards the dumpster. And the minute I started driving towards it, they started coming. And I was like, I gotta make sure I get in there first. So I got in there, parked the car, and I immediately went to that dumpster and started looking. And the minute I saw that Chucky head, and I started trying to get to it, and I couldn't because those like stage walls were in the way. So I'm trying so hard to get to it because I know it's only a matter of time before those other people behind me come in and they see it too, and then it's a fight. And luckily I grabbed it just in time, and all they ended up seeing was me climbing out of the dumpster with the Chucky head, and they're like, no way. But those were the same people that I helped get the air hockey table out. So yeah, so those were the same people. I believe they got some good stuff as well. That air hockey table that I helped them load up into their truck, they took it home and turned it on, and it did work. All the lights were working on it. They just have to replace the top layer of glass that they shattered. So they did a lot of cosmetic damage, but stuff that you can fix, especially when it came to the posters. Sometimes they smash the posters, but I mean, I don't know. This is the only company that I know goes out of their way to destroy their image when they get rid of something. I don't get it. I really don't. Ashton, I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better. I think this was about back around March too, so this was almost a year ago from now. Almost. I thought you said the Dumpster Heist series was inspired by Liam. Actually, it was. I remember seeing his video of, I think, what it was, Willowdale? No, it wasn't Willowdale. I can't remember. Wow Missing? I can't remember. But he was documenting the closing of a store and filming them taking the stuff out and smashing it. And I loved it. I loved the video, and it was something I had never seen done before. And so I remember when Washington Street closed, I remember he made that video, and I thought to myself, well, what if I do something similar, but I also show the process of me trying to recover and save what I can. So that's what I did. Someone's asking for Rachel gets nuked. Long live the dough mixers. Yes, long live the dough mixers indeed. Agent has a question for Rachel. Oh, I am so far back in the chat. I'm so sorry. Let me catch up. Lightning round. What was your favorite TayJay video? And Rachel said, I don't know. All of them are amazing. What a cop-out answer.
They are good though.
Devin has a question. What's your favorite part of BillyCon? Rachel, did you answer that one?
I'm typing.
Rachel, there's so much amazing TayJay videos. I don't know where to start. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I really do. It's heartbreaking knowing that they want to destroy these beautiful things that mean so much to millions of people. It really is. You know, Frisch's Big Boy, the Big Boy statues that are in front of the restaurants. So when they close those locations down, a lot of the time they do not destroy those statues, but somebody saves them in a cage So somewhere, I don't know exactly where, but somewhere out there, there is a cage full of the Frisch's Big Boys statues. But it's nice to know that they still exist and that they're not destroyed and gone from history. These things, a lot of these hobbies interlap with each other, of like historians and pop culture history, and a lot of this stuff is just pop culture history and American pop culture at that. I think Chuck E. Cheese is an American restaurant, and they are expanding to other countries, which is great. But it started in America, and a lot of this stuff that started in America, it's important American pop culture. It's American history, and to destroy history is, I'll never understand. I get the basis of what they're going for when they do it, but it just doesn't constitute what they're doing. I have to fast forward in chat. If I missed your question, just type it again. CC Entertainment is so protective over its IP for no reason. If someone used their IP, they would just be taken down so fast, no one would bother using their IP in the first place. Yeah. And all this work they go through is for nothing, because people still use their image. I don't know. I mean, if you're so worried about the wrong people out there having your stuff for the wrong reasons, maybe make sure that your stuff goes into the hands of the right people. Because people are going to get a hold of this stuff regardless, or just reproduce things. A lot of people are so smart, they can reproduce these items. There are repro animatronics, complete repro animatronics out there. People are going to do this. So it's up to you. Are you going to make an effort to keep history? I don't know. I mean, excuse me. Okay, guys, let's see what else we have. Why can't they have an open house where it's an auction and you can look around? That would be amazing, honestly. I think that would be a great idea, and I don't know why they do that, to be honest. Thank you, appreciate it. I don't know why they do that, to be honest with you, and I think that it would be a great idea. Remember that thrifting video I just released recently where there was a thrift shop with a lot of cool, like, what am I trying to say? There was a lot of cool props and things from Universal and Disney World. Dude, Disney World. Disney! The successor to Chuck E. Cheese, might I say. Disney still doesn't do as much as Chuck E. Cheese does. I don't get it. I really don't. Beyond me. It's beyond me. Remember, I went to that thrift store and they had all the Disney stuff there. That's amazing. That's history. People want that stuff. Which, by the way, I do have to admit that I did cry when the information that Aerosmith was being taken. Oh man, I'm not a Disney adult, but yeah, I cried. My bad. I think it's a little more than historical stuff. For a lot of people, it helps shape who we are as people. I mean, yeah, you have a point. Corporate can have their heartless moments. We all know that. Been waiting for a Repro Studio C to pop up. It's gonna happen. Then again, I do plan of making my non-existent 16M Chuck sing Bowling for Soup songs, which some could be a little dirty. Maybe if they just auctioned them off like they did in the 70s, they wouldn't be I agree. That is a very valid point there. I really think that auctioning off their stuff would work better in the long run. I mean, they're in so much debt that I think that auctioning them off is a perfect idea. And they would make money doing it. It would get into the hands of the right people. The only concern is that resellers get their hands on it before. And that is a concern because you don't want these people grabbing things that have no care about Chuck E. Cheese in the world and then selling them for an outrageous amount of money, which we already see people doing. So if you get your hands on this stuff, it's hopefully a Chuck E. Cheese fan that gets their hands on this stuff because then they can love it and appreciate it. Versus, and so when Mark and I were talking to each other about what we should do with the things that they are originally destroying, I mentioned to him auctions, number one, but also trying to find a way to do giveaways because a lot of these people who are so into Chuck E. Cheese are kids. And kids don't have the money to be throwing at auctions. So while auctions can help Chuck E. Cheese and help get into the collectors of the people who have the money, there are a lot of people out there who deserve these things who don't have the money, but deserve it nonetheless. I think that that would be a good thing. I think it would be a good thing. Chat, I would love to answer all of your questions, but I do need to get into the next subject, and I'm sure you guys will really enjoy this. I'm going to shrink down my video box, as you are seeing here. And the reason why I'm doing that is I did have one more thing that I put out that you guys voted on. And I haven't covered it yet. I covered everything else. Now, the thing that I did not cover yet is your guys' favorite cameo on my channel of 2025. And you guys really went, I think that was like the most voted on. You guys really love your cameos and other creators, and I definitely understand. There's so many great creators out there. Two people were voted on more than any other. Number one was Chris Bauer. Much appreciation to him. But number two was another well-loved person in the fandom, and he is here today. Liam Animatronics Explorations himself. My little introduction to him is how are you doing? And thank you for joining my stream. What's going on? I am having some audio difficulties. I am so sorry. I was hoping this wouldn't happen. Help me out, Rachel. Can you guys hear him?
Hold on, I'm delayed. No.
Okay, you can't hear him either. Liam, can you make sure that your microphone is not muted?
Yeah, it says. Can you
There
hear
it
me now?
is.
There we
Yes, I
go.
can hear you.
Okay,
Perfect.
I had to unmute it. I had to mute it and then unmute it again, and then now it's
Perfect.
working. So
Okay. Well,
interesting.
glad to hear from you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm getting ready to make my next round of videos. I'm starting to run out again, so I'm trying to plan out which locations I'm going to go to next, and do all that stuff because it takes a lot of prep to go through all that and decide what I'm going to do and the best way to do it.
That is the way to do it. And it's funny because I was literally just talking about the non-merch getting into the hands of the right people, and I see it right there behind you. You have the legendary Ambassador of Fun.
There it
That's
is.
a legendary piece. And
Yeah,
sometimes
that's
we don't notice how big those things are until we take them home.
I know it's gigantic. It literally goes all the way. I had trouble fitting it in my car when I bought it because I just really underestimated it. I see it I've seen it on the wall so many times, and I just forget how big they are because it doesn't look as big up there on the wall.
It must be so fun to see that every time you walk into that room. I know
Oh
how it
yeah.
feels when I see the stuff that I have in my garage. Sometimes I just sit there and I'm like, I have this stuff. Like, do you feel the same way about the things that you have?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, my collection's not huge, and I kind of like that. I like having a smaller collection that I can really appreciate everything I have, and it's stuff that a lot of the stuff I have a few things that I got from dumpster diving, but a lot of the stuff is stuff I had to pay for. So that
Yeah.
makes it even more fulfilling for me. Like I spent my hard-earned money to get this stuff, so it's really even more special to me that way. Of course, I
Such a
love the stuff
great
that I dumpster
find.
dive for too.
Of course, yeah. I can't blame you. The dumpster diving stuff, you can't argue getting something for free. But when you find that thing and you purchase it, it's such a special moment, and I definitely get it. So, Liam, I do have some questions to get into. And once again, thank you for being here today. I think
Of
everybody in the
course.
chat is really excited to see you. So, I'm going to get into these questions I have prepared for you. So, the first question I have for you, Liam, is how did you get into animatronics and Chuck E. Cheese?
Well, that would be the lovely, wonderful YouTube algorithm, which I know we both know very well.
Yes.
So yeah, a couple of years ago, YouTube recommended me this video. Just happened to about Northridge. I hadn't really watched that many videos, about Chuck E. Cheese before. Maybe a couple that they came up, but I didn't really think much of it until for some reason this one video in Northridge that I watched, and I saw the animatronics perform, and I was just very inspired by it. Just really loved it so much. Didn't really have any, went to Chuck E. Cheese a few times, as a kid, but didn't really have any really fond memories of the animatronics or, really, of the atmosphere in general. But something about seeing that video of the Northridge stage just really, stuck with me. And there was not a point after that where I wasn't interested in Chuck E. Cheese.
The Northridge stage was legendary. It was supposed to be, as you know, the only stage that existed
Hmm.
with the animatronics. Thankfully, the Chuck E. Cheese fandom really showed up, and we have more saved. So, but I could definitely get the inspiration, and that's crazy. I actually didn't know that you didn't have like specific memories growing up, but it's something you actually got into later in life. So that is
Hmm.
really interesting. Thanks for letting me know that. So now that we've talked about what got you into Chuck E. Cheese and animatronics, what got you started on your YouTube channel?
Well, about a year after initially, discovering the Chuck E. Cheese animatronics and the Phantom and all that kind of stuff, I then went to the Hicksville, New York store to be able to see the show for the first time because I grew up with Studio C, so I never saw the show, the 5 character band. So. I went to Hicksville to see it for the first time, and while I was there, I just happened to take a few videos of the show. I recorded some of the songs that were in the show tape at that point. This was before they were a legacy. It was
Mhm.
announced that they were a legacy store, but they hadn't gotten their remodel yet, so
Yeah.
they weren't
Okay.
playing that legacy show tape that only has the 2 songs. They weren't doing that stuff. They had lots of songs in the shows at that point. So I got 6 songs on video, which if you go to a legacy store today, you can't really say that very much. It's
Mm.
really hard to find program segments anymore. But I
Not
recorded.
not unless they do the fireballs. Then you get
I know.
more of
And
them.
then some of those stores like Willowdale, I don't want to do it, so I don't
Mm.
get. I didn't get to see any fireballs, and when I was at Toledo, I didn't get to see any, and when I was at Pineville, I had to beg, and then they did. So it's hard to get those sometimes, but back when I went to Hicksville, I got to see a lot of songs, and um I just happened to upload them to YouTube. I had no intention of continuing after that, but I uploaded the songs to YouTube and they just started getting all these views and I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is it. I got to start a YouTube channel. I got to continue this." And it just went off from there and here we are.
Awesome. Well, I feel like that's, how it starts for a lot of us is we see people getting videos of this stuff. We go and we see it for ourselves. And the first time seeing these things in person, it's different than when you see it on camera.
It is.
I mean, they're so big. And I know I say it on my videos all the time. I'm like, I forget how massive these things are, especially the 3-stage animatronics.
Exactly. I remember that's exactly that was my first impression too. I was like, they're as big as I am. I was shocked. They're human size and I was not prepared for that. It's
Yes.
hard to convey that scale on camera and I have a hard time doing it too. I don't think anybody can really do it. It's just hard to convey that scale, but they are huge and that was definitely my first impression too.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Well, so you've been doing this YouTube channel now for a while. You've been getting quite the following. I hear a lot of clamor about you all the time. People love you. How's your overall experience been with your YouTube channel?
Oh, it's been great. I love doing it so much. I've gotten to meet so many great people. I've gotten to see parts of the world that I would have never gotten to see otherwise. I've gotten to learn a lot of great history. I know so much geography about the United States and all these cities that, I can't
Mm,
believe I know all this stuff about all the, where, I can point out all these cities on a map now because I know they have CEC locations and,
yep.
yeah, all that kind of stuff. And it's been a nice source of extra income for me. So all that kind of stuff. It's just been fantastic, and I love doing it.
Awesome. I definitely agree. Yeah, I mean, you don't even have to put the state when you talk about these Chuck E. Cheese locations. You put the city and people know exactly what you're talking about. Unless
Hmm.
there's like two states with the same city name that have a Chuck E. Cheese there, you put the city location. Pineville, people know it's North Carolina.
Yeah, absolutely.
Northridge, people know it's California. I mean, not even Jackson just closed recently, which rest in peace, Jackson. People know that was
Oh yeah.
Tennessee. And it's
Hmm.
so crazy. So, well, speaking of animatronics, one of the coolest things in your collection is your Jasper animatronic. Notice that you have that. How's it? How's the restoration going?
All right, I'll take you over here. Let's just take a look at it.
Yes, let's see
So
it.
first, I'll show you this. So here's the box. I don't know why it zoomed in so far, but this is going to be the stage that he's going
Hmm.
to be on. It's
You're
so
doing good on that.
of course my Jasper was from Wichita, which had a road
Hmm.
stage. So I'm recreating the road stage box that he sat on. Um, so I
It looks
have that
amazing.
here. Thank you. So it's this PVC, not PVC wood. It's P. It's something that starts with a P. I can't remember. I said it in my one video, and I can't remember what it was. But then there's a piece of plexiglass in there, and it's gonna light up. I have the light right here. It's not
Hmm.
installed yet, but that's what'll sit on. And then back here is where I have the animatronic until I get it completely restored. There he
There he
is.
is. There's the
So
man.
yeah. So of course I have the valve bank down there. All the stuff is wired. His head's kind of down right now, so his head up cylinder goes right here. It's actually it right here. You can see
There
that's
it
the head
is.
up cylinder. It needs. I'm gonna get a new one ordered though. It was
Hmm.
having some problems, so that one's not gonna work. And then this one here, the for the I believe it was the head turn left and right that was leaking, so I'm gonna replace that as well. Uh, so waiting for new cylinders to come, also waiting for the controller to come. Um, but then I also did make this progress since the last time I updated. I have official eyelids now. So these are Pizza Time Theater eyelids. I'm
Wow.
gonna get them repainted. They're gonna look really nice. And then here is the material for his eyelashes that I'm going to cut down. It was originally this really long fur I got, but
Mm.
I cut it down to size, and that'll go, right there on the eyelids. So
You
yeah,
really
that's
are
pretty.
going to work with that.
Yeah, it's. I've learned a lot, about these animatronics. It's not. It's kind of it's more complicated than it looks. It's 8 movements that the air cylinders just move. Air cylinders push in and out, and it moves
Hmm.
around these 8 different movements. But it there's a lot. There's a lot to it, and I've realized that.
That is
But it's been
amazing. Is that a real
you know
banjo?
it is a real banjo. I got this when I was 5 years old. I never learned how to play it. It sat in a box for its case for 15 years, and now here we are. It's getting used for Jasper because
That's so
I didn't
cool.
get the original.
I imagine that getting the Stitch. I see that you put pine wood. Did I say Liam? Did I say pine wood
For what?
for Pineville?
Oh, Pineville.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
okay. So somebody in the chat said Pinewood, and I'm like, oh my god, did I say Pinewood instead of Pineville? I almost had another
Oh
Buster
no, they
moment.
thought they must thought it was Pinewood, my box, but no, it wasn't
Okay, okay,
Pinewood. It Yeah, because I don't remember hearing you say Pinewood instead of Pineville. I just couldn't
okay.
remember what the heck the box is made out of the wood. Oh, and here's my Gemini light. I have that too up here.
Oh,
I
is that
showed
a
that in my
that's a
last
real
update.
Gemini from
It
Chuck E.
is
Cheese?
well, it's not a Chuck E. Cheese one. No,
Oh, okay.
it's not official. Those things are hard to come by because they also get destroyed.
Yes.
Stuff that
Yeah.
it's not. It doesn't have. It has absolutely nothing to do with Chuck E. Cheese. Nobody would know it's Chuck E. Cheese outside of the building, but then here we are. They're destroying that stuff too. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember I found the entire light bar from Washington Street, and for some reason the Gemini wasn't on it, but everything else was. So I did, while you were showing the animatronic, I did have a follow-up question about it. The
Hmm.
cosmetics. Do you think that's going to be the hardest part of your restoration is finding the cosmetics?
Well, I actually got quite lucky. So the purchase I got with it, which that was a big reason I did, my impulse, purchase of this animatronic, was it came with a good amount of cosmetics. So I got this box. I got the original shirt from Wichita. I got the original bandana, but it is ripped, so I don't have
Hmm.
that. I don't have a body shell, so that's going to be the most difficult part to figure out the body shell. However, I was very lucky, and the reason I did it is because I do have a repro mask for it. So
Ooh.
it's not the original from Wichita. It's a reproduction,
Uh-huh.
but you know it'll
But it
work.
still looks good.
It's a hard thing. You know, these are hard things to find. So you know, having this already, not having to worry about that was a big win for me and a big reason why I made the purchase there of this specific animatronic.
Yeah. I was just talking about that. I mean, unfortunately, because Chuck E. Cheese destroys so much, we do have to resort to repros. But I mean,
Mhm.
there's so many smart people in the fandom. The repros sometimes look almost authentic. So that
Yeah,
looks
I
amazing. And I know at the end of the day, people are going to really love your restoration of this bot, whether it be some pieces are repro, but I mean, still, you have a lot of original stuff there.
mhm.
Somebody in the chat wants to know what brand your Gemini is.
It is a DJ, American DJ, ADJ. It's the Rotoball VXS Mark II, I believe, or the Rotoballs VS Mark II. Yeah, that's
Okay.
what it's called.
There you go, Studio Cyber TV. Okay, so the next question. So obviously we know you went to BillyCon. That was your first BillyCon, if I'm correct.
It was my first Billy
Okay.
Con. I had COVID previous Billy Con, so I wasn't
Ah,
able to go,
gotcha. Well,
unfortunately.
since this was your first BillyCon, what was your experience like?
It was very good. I really enjoyed BillyCon. I'm very glad I went. I got to meet a lot of you guys probably in the chat. I got to meet TayJay, of course, and some other YouTubers. I met Crow Randenberger, which was awesome. I felt kind of bad though, because he actually recognized me before I recognized him. And, I
Ah,
felt really bad about that. But that was a lot of fun. And I got to see a lot of shows on a lot of songs that I hadn't gotten to see at my previous trips to Billy Bob's Wonderland. So that was great too. So just overall, a great experience. Definitely would like to go to more conventions like that in the future. I really hope they bring back Chucky Con. I would love to go to that.
yeah, I heard about Chucky Con, and that sounds like a lot of. Do you know where it takes place at?
I believe for a while, the last few years, it was in Texas.
Okay.
But then really back in the day, it used to be at Danvers, or they had a
Mm,
convention. That was Cheesevention, I guess. It was Cheesevention that was at
mm,
Danvers for a while, and then they then different fan conventions have come and gone, and believe the last one they had it was in Texas, around where CEC is based.
gotcha. I hope they bring it back. BillyCon kind of serves as our Chucky Con for now. I know
Hmm.
Showbiz and Chuck E. Cheese are very closely related, so a lot of the times Chucky fans come to BillyCon, and I mean it's kind of hard to be a Chuck E. Cheese fan but not a Showbiz fan at the same time. I know people usually
Exactly.
prefer one or the other, but you're a fan of the one, you're usually a fan of the both.
Fan of
So
both. Exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you
There's
had a
overlap.
yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you had a great experience there. I had a great experience
Hmm.
there too. It's always a good time, a lot of good energy, and always a few silly things that happen. But every time you get a bunch of people together, I mean, it just happens.
Yep.
So,
Absolutely.
let's get more into Chuck E. Cheese and
Hmm.
current day Chuck E. Cheese. The burning question for you, Liam, is I know you go to a lot of 2.0 stores and you
Hmm.
review a lot of them. So
Yes.
now that you've been to so many 2.0 stores, I want to know how do you feel overall about 2.0 and Chuck E. Cheese's overall modernization?
Well, I think the thing I've learned the most when it comes to making all these 2.0 tours is that the 2.0s, are actually a lot of the stores are more different than I think I thought, and I think a lot of other people thought, the amount of variations they are in between them. And I've been to 2.0 locations that I consider good, and I've been to 2.0 locations that I consider bad. Of course, I don't like the animatronic removal, and I don't like the video wall. Of course, I mean
Mm,
that's obvious. I mean, I love the animatronics. I wish they were still in the stores, even the ones that have 2.0. But then there are also a lot of there are not a lot, but there are several things about 2.0 that I do like. Like for example, the outlet charging at the booths. What a great feature. That is something that I can absolutely 100% get behind. And then in the later remodels like 2023 and 2024, I show in my videos, that I found that a lot of these locations, they stopped doing that. One of the best features about these remodels, and they stopped doing it. And that is one of those things that I think is, shows the differences, between the remodels and that no two are the same. Or like new carpet, it's another thing. Like, of course, every once in a while, you got to replace the carpet in your store.
yeah.
The carpet gets really bad. I was at some of the the locations that didn't have 2.0, that had really carpet was really looking rough, and it needed to be replaced. So that's another thing that about 2.0. It's fine, it's great. There's some stuff that I don't like. The art is very standardized. It's contemporary, but it's very boring. And the exterior logo with the Chucky that doesn't have eyebrows. Of course, I'm not a huge I'm not a huge fan of that either.
Yeah.
But and I'm gonna and I'm probably get this is very controversial take, but I'll say it anyway. I personally like the play pass and the e-tickets. As someone that works at an arcade, and I worked with the quarters and the tickets and the paper tickets, and we switched to cards, so I've done both, and I just know from firsthand that the e-ticket system is just much better in almost every way except for nostalgia and the children really liking it and getting that satisfaction of winning and the tickets coming out. That's great, but other than that, the amount of labor cost, the waste, all the tickets that go into the environment that get shredded and thrown away, it's terrible. The amount of money that's wasted on doing that, and labor, and the parts that it takes, the stuff they were constantly jamming, and the ticket dust would get caught in the games and ruin everything. I mean, it was so good we got rid of them, and I know I totally understand why Chuck E. Cheese did it. So that's another thing about their modernization that I have really no problem with, and that's why in my videos I really don't complain about it, because because I know exactly why they did it, and I agree with it. But yeah, so it's a hard to say, yes or no in terms of what I like and what I don't like about, like, whether I like or don't like Chuck E. Cheese's modernization. Of course, the biggest thing for me is the animatronic removal, which I absolutely don't like, and the destruction, which I like even less. But then there are some of those things, especially with those earlier remodels, that I absolutely can get behind, and I enjoy showing in my videos.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, I get what you mean by like the play passes and stuff. I personally, I love the memory of carrying around the token cup
Mm-hmm.
and all the
Yep.
tickets, but I can't argue with you. It's really not ideal to have to carry. I mean, God forbid you hit a couple jackpots. You have all these tickets to carry around.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things about tickets, though, I gotta say, I miss is every once in a while somebody will get tickets and they won't take them out.
They
So I
won't
remember
take them out. You're right.
one of my things I did as a kid was I would walk around the Chuck E. Cheese
In the
arcade and I would
in the
look for
whole
those tickets.
little, yep. And then
Yeah.
and for the tokens too, and the squares and the tickets that would
Yes.
leave.
Oh
That
yeah.
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That is a good point that I did forget about that, because when someone leaves, people still leave plays on the games and stuff now, but then the tickets, I believe, still go on to the other person's play pass. So
Yeah.
yeah, that is kind of unfortunate too.
It didn't feel nearly as bad to take somebody's tickets if they were still in the arcade game and they missed them. But the equivalent now, somebody leaving their play pass, that's something I can't. I'm just like, that's
It
somebody's
feels like
play pass.
steal.
I don't want to
If
take
it feels
that.
like stealing, exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, there's always give and take. There's always here goes the chat. There's always give and take,
Mhm.
and so while we're talking about modernization, the Chuck E. Cheese fun centers, what about
Mhm.
the Chuck's Arcade? How do you feel about those?
Well, as an adult, I don't really get that much enjoyment out of what they considered adult Chuck E. Cheese. Like, it's kind of,
Right.
I don't know. I've always been into redemption arcade games my whole life, and there's no redemption there. And I believe the games are very expensive there at Chuck's Arcade. So I don't have that. And then they have those really nice. The repro cabinets are really nice, but once again, just like 10 credits to play a game is ridiculous. You get 5 games for like $10. It's terrible. That's like highway robbery. I mean, it's horrible. I can't get behind that pricing structure at all. And then they have the taxidermies, which, I mean, it's cool to look at for 5 seconds and then get a picture of, but it doesn't do anything. It doesn't perform, so it gets kind of old, kind of fast, unfortunately. So I like Chuck's Arcade more than I liked Fun Spot. I definitely still want to go see the Chuck's Arcade in Kansas City that has that awesome, it has pizza and it has the whole wall of all
Yeah,
that stuff. So that is definitely something I can get behind there. But that run of the mill Chuck's Arcades, I've been to a couple of them, and not anything that's super enjoyable for me. I don't really care for that concept or how they've executed it.
yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, they have a few retro cabinets, but I mean, they're not really the retro cabinets. They're the new. I think they're like One Up brand. It's like the new cabinets that play retro games. So they're like emulators in a way. It would be cool if
Yeah.
they at least were able to bring back the actual retro cabinets, but they didn't even do that.
Yep.
It
They
it
had new
just
ones made and
feels
did that.
it just feels like a quick like cash grab to use nostalgia as a bait and switch. In which when I'm
Yes.
talking about Chuck's Arcade, I use that term a lot because it really does feel like a bait and switch. I mean,
Hmm.
they're advertising one thing and then you go and see something else. And I see these people, I see these social media influencers who don't know anything about Chucky or Chuck E. Cheese, and they hear from the media, oh, Chuck E. Cheese opened up an adult version. So
All
then
time.
they go to these Chuck's arcades and they're like, what is this? I mean,
Hmm.
it makes sense because why would you market this as an adult version of Chuck E. Cheese when there's nothing adult about it? There is nothing that tells me when I look into there, oh, this is for adults, you know?
Yeah, it's really funny you say that because like when that news first came out, of course, all of us, the Phantom members, we all heard about it first. But then people then those news articles started coming out later, and then the
Mm-hmm.
general public started finding out about it. And then I had family members who were sending me the article like, have you gone to adult Chuck E. Cheese yet? And oh my goodness, have you seen the adult Chuck E. Cheese? You got to make a video at adult Chuck E. Cheese. I was like, it's not. It's not really what they say it is. Like, it's a great example of you can't believe everything you see on the internet, and
Yes.
and yeah. So the general public did absolutely 100% buy it, and I saw that definitely firsthand, and it's a shame that that was really a bait and switch. You're absolutely right. So
And the
yeah, yeah.
retro
What it
merch too. They
and the
did the
retro
retro
merch
merch
too.
too. Oh, they did it more than once. I saw I think Chris went to another Chuck's Arcade opening and they did it again. They had
Yeah,
this
the one.
media event where they invite people who do social media to go to these opening
Mhm.
events and they put all this retro merch on the counter. And then
Yep,
after the media event's over, they take it all. I don't
take
know if
it
they even
away.
sold it to anybody. So it's like
Yeah, it
they
might have
want the
just been for
media to
pictures.
show.
Yep.
Exactly. It's like they want the media to show that all this stuff is there when actuality it's not. Oh my god, I
Yeah.
can talk all day about how frustrating Chuck's Arcade is.
Even yeah, even the flagship one in Kansas City, I believe they only have the prize hub now, like that I think
Mm.
most of the Chuck's arcades have. They don't have their prize counter anymore there either. So
I was
total
surprised to see that they had them fully staffed, and I don't think that's going to be a long run thing. I don't. They do they really have the means to fully staff their Chuck's arcades where there's somebody there 24/7?
the one I went to in New York, the Vestal, not Vestal, New York. I'm thinking of a Chuck E. Cheese location I went to. What the heck was that one in it was the one in upstate New York, and they have the Jasper taxidermy. Um it was at a mall, and I went there, no attendant, no employee there at all. The place was
Mm.
open. You could play games, just nobody in there. I don't know if they were on staff or they went to go to the bathroom, but they don't close the place up when there's nobody in there. They just leave nobody
Yeah.
in there. So I guess they get paid minimum wage, and they're most of the time when I do see someone in there sitting on their phone. So it's like not really a very easy but boring job, I bet. But
Right.
it
I mean,
doesn't
I don't
seem like
think that I don't think that an arcade like that really needs somebody there all the
yeah,
time. So they had
yeah,
these big aspirations for this, and I'm like, they overshot this for sure. They overshot it.
yeah,
Well, besides
absolutely.
Chuck E. Cheese, um, I know you like animatronics in general.
Hmm.
What other animatronic locations do you like going to?
Well, I've been to a few. There's definitely some others that I would like to go to that I haven't been to yet. But I would say that my favorite that I've been to is probably Billy Bob's Wonderland because it's the only Rocket Fire I've seen so far, and
Mm.
I just love seeing that. And then, but I would say I also love the two locations that I got to see the Cyberamic retrofits. The one in Ocean City, New Jersey. It used to be Gillian's Wonderland Pier, and it's now the Promenade
Okay.
Food Court,
Right.
and they have the Man and Dog Show retrofit, which is
Yep.
awesome. I love seeing that one just because of the quality, how great it is, and the history behind that show. And the other one is in New York at the Enchanted Forest Water Safari. The Rocky and the Ramblin' Rascals is what it's called,
Mm. Okay.
and the quality of that retrofit isn't as good. However, the atmosphere of being in there and the pizza time, and it's like being in a pizza time theater with the old furniture and the applause board, the flag wavers, the helicopter light is still up there from the 90s, and the how they used to have that, and they got rid of it and
Yeah.
replaced it with the Gemini, but they still have that. And they have the wood paneling on the walls, and the authentic pizza time theater
Mm-hmm.
furniture. They have a bar in there, and the counter. It really feels like being a pizza time theater in there, and it's probably the most, retro feeling experience I've gotten anywhere, even at any of the Chuck E. Cheese locations. I don't think I
Yeah.
felt more, like I was in, and I'm not a late '70s Pizza Time Theater as I was in that space. Even though Munch's Make Believe Band wasn't on the stage, it was Rocky and the
Right.
Ramblin' Rascals. But it
But you knew that's who
still
it
was.
really was under there.
Exactly. So I definitely those two with the Cyberamic retrofits for different reasons I definitely love visiting those as well.
Well, cool. Yeah, those are both locations I haven't visited yet, and I got to definitely put that on my list of places to visit because that sounds really interesting. So, with all that being said, everything that you've done so in 2024, or in 2024, here we go again with me stuttering. Everything you've done so, everything you've done so far in 2025. Okay, finally I got through it. What's just your favorite moment? Your either in your channel or just your life in general?
I would probably have to say getting that animatronic. That's just been a big
Mm,
goal of mine for a pretty long time, and just getting there and opening that box and seeing it in there, and it's like, oh my goodness, this I'm gonna get this thing working. I have a big piece of Chuck E. Cheese history like this, in my home, and it's mine. It's here, and that was really a big moment for me, and I couldn't, I had it for several weeks before I even announced it on the channel. I was just so excited, to show everybody, and just getting that working has been a real big adventure, and it's been expensive, but I think
yeah.
in the end it's going to be worth it, and I'm excited for everybody to see it when it's all done. But that was definitely, I would say, my biggest moment in 2025.
Understandable. Understandable. That's a huge moment. So with that being said, I mean, what do you plan on accomplishing in 2026?
Well, definitely number one, I would like to have the animatronic working in 2026. That's definitely the goal. And then, go into more, of course, go into more Chuck E. Cheese locations, expanding my library of tours and, documenting all these. I hope to, revisit as many legacy locations as possible, every year. There's still a couple Studio C locations that I haven't been to. I have a trip
Okay.
coming up, which is still a little secret, but I do have a really exciting trip coming up where I'm going to see some more Studio
Ooh.
C locations that I haven't been to yet. I'm really
Okay, a little
excited about
tease.
that
A
one.
little
hmm
tease.
Yep. So coming up in 2026, very early
Okay.
2026, and yeah, just getting all those videos out, going to a couple other animatronics. Like I know you've been to Vola Museum. That's a place I want to go to that I haven't
Oh,
been
it's
to
so
yet.
cool. I mean,
I know. I know.
obviously the Rockafire explosion is cool, but just the entire place is really cool.
I know. There's some place I haven't been there yet, and it drives me nuts. But I still want to go there. I got to go there, during the summer. I don't want to go there when the Rockafire is not open, even though the
Right.
Rockafire is only part of it. It's still a big part of it, especially for,
Absolutely.
our niche on the internet. So something I have to go there when they're open. But yeah, I would say those are my, biggest plans for Chuck E. Cheese tours, getting Jasper working, and then, seeing more animatronics as well.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I'm going to take a minute or two here to ask some questions that people are leaving in the chat, and then I'll
Okay.
go ahead and let you go. Let's see here. So, I know there was a lot of questions. Someone saying Liam and TayJay collab for a store tour in the future.
If I ever come, yeah, if you're ever up my way or I'm ever in Indiana again, I know we tried that one time. Last time I was there, I was
Yeah.
gonna go to Washington Street, and then there was that horrible. You guys don't get. I don't. You guys get a lot of snow in Indiana, like in that part of Indiana, because it was.
It
I thought it was.
depends. But
Because
I
I kind
mean,
of remember.
like this year we got a lot of snow already, but usually we don't usually get snow until like January. It
Uh
depends.
huh.
I feel like once every 5 years we get a blizzard, but other than that, it's very, very little.
Yeah, because I remember like they were talking about that like it was like an unprecedented event. The way they were
Uh,
talking about that snowstorm, and I was like, of course, this is the day I'm going to. And there's those three locations in Indiana that had the C stages, Muncie, Kokomo, and Washington Street. Got the two of them. Guess which one is the one that closed?
right?
That really burned me up that's the one that closed, the one
Swear.
that I hadn't gone to. But that would have been a great place to collab. But we can always do it at one of the 2.0s there in Indianapolis.
Yeah, we could absolutely. Or I mean, I can meet you somewhere else, Kansas City, maybe. Hey, you never
Yeah.
know. I mean,
Yeah.
it's you'd never know. And like I was talking about earlier, especially on my channel, I don't have plans for the things that happen. They just kind of happen.
Mm, of
So anyways, I'll go ahead and do one more question. I'll let you go. Thank you so much for your time.
course.
Let's see. I know I saw this question earlier. Pizza Dog wants to know, did you expect to get this popular?
Um, I would say no, honestly. You know, because of course, when I uploaded those first 6 videos, I didn't think anybody would watch them, and then all of a sudden, the one had 30,000 views. I was like, oh my goodness! But then, you know, I tried YouTube in middle school. You know, this isn't my first time going at it, and I got maybe 200 subscribers after a couple of years. But you know, YouTube's a different journey for everybody. You know, some people get famous in 2 weeks. Some people, you know, it takes 2 years or 5 years. You know, it's you know, everybody's at a different pace. So you know, some people might look at my channel and go like, oh wow, he got a lot of subscribers fast. Some people might look at my channel and go, oh wow, he hardly has any subscribers after that period of time. You know, it's really a, you know, different for everybody. So I would say you know, it has exceeded my expectations, but you know, somebody else, depending on where they are, could have a different, you know, look at it. So
Well, you know what? I've noticed that subscriber count doesn't always necessarily show like your fan base support.
you're right. You're
I
right.
mean, you can have 80,000 subscribers, but then only have like 50 of them actually interacting with you.
Mhm.
So subscriber count, I wouldn't look too much into it.
Especially with shorts nowadays, because a lot of like shorts, a lot of
Yes.
people hit subscribe and then on the shorts, and then you know, they never watch your long form content. So I feel like shorts especially has really diminished the the value of, you know, having a lot of you know, having, you know, all these subscribers, the
Yeah.
shorts. And it, and shorts are great, you know, for some quick views, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really generate pennies unless you get millions of views, which
Absolutely.
is unfortunate.
Absolutely. YouTube is a very slow climb, but the most important thing is that you do have a fan base and a community behind you. Like
Hmm.
I said, I hear chatter about you all the time. People are always talking about how great you are.
Yeah,
All these
I'm
people
very
saying
grateful
that
for that.
you're their favorite. And I
I'm
know a
very
lot of
grateful
people are
for that. I
excited
think,
to see you on my stream tonight. So
thank you guys. I appreciate it. I'm always thinking about you and how I can make, you know, my videos as good as possible for you guys, and you know what you want to see. And I know you guys, I get a lot of store tour requests, and I always take those into consideration. And I promise one day, you know, I'm gonna make your request happen. I promise. It takes some time,
so
but it
many. There's a
it's
lot
gonna
of
happen.
locations.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, over 400, and you know, one day I hope to see all of them. But you never know. Who knows? They could be gone. They could be gone by that point.
You think you'll ever
Hey,
go overseas?
Uh, I really hope so. You know, there's some great, you know, UK. I would love to go see their new Chuck E. Cheese that's opening up.
Yeah.
Um, it's down there in South America. I'd love to go down there too. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just time and money is two big you know, question marks when it comes to, you know, that kind of travel. So never say never. I don't like to say no. Like, I'll never do that, but it'll take some, you know, you know, take some planning. Everything I do for the channel is pretty well thought out. I like to make sure I, you know, have all my bases covered before I just, you know, run off and, you know, make something happen. So,
There you go.
yeah.
Cheddar Chucky says W Liam. JMTV
Thank you,
Studios
Cheddar.
says
You're the
thank you,
best.
Liam. Pizza Dog,
Of
a
course.
happy
Thank you,
crying
TayJay.
emoji. Thank you. I really appreciate you showing up today and surprising everybody.
Of
We're all
course.
in the same fandom. If somebody
Hmm.
likes mid videos, chances are they like yours too. Everybody's got
Yep.
their own preferences, obviously, but at the end of the day, I think we're just all happy to be together, and I'm
Yes.
definitely happy that I had some time to speak to you today. So thank you
I am too.
for
Yep.
spending some time with us this evening, Liam, and I hope you have a
Hmm.
wonderful rest of your night, and I will be definitely checking up on updates for your animatronic.
Thank you. Thank you, TayJay. Bye, chat. I appreciate you guys asking me questions, and have a great night, everyone.
All right, have a good night.
Bye.
Well, guys, that was one of two surprises. I hope you guys really enjoyed that as I try to get my video back up here. Oh, give me a second. I kind of messed around with this. What the? Okay, there we go. Yeah, there you guys go. One of two surprises today. We're not done yet. That is not the end of the stream. Here in about 20 minutes, we have one more surprise for you guys, and You guys are gonna like it. So until then, I hope you guys really enjoyed the chat with Liam. How many of you knew that I was about to do that? How many of you knew that I was about to get Mr. Animatronic Explorations himself on here? I feel like I'm really tapping into my interest in journalism with that. What do you think, Rachel? Was I a good reporter, interviewer? I think she's on the other side of the house right now. But that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Collabs are a lot of fun, guys, because we're all in this together, and I'm about to sing High School Musical. But okay, I need to finally look at chat and see what y'all are saying. Still watch both of your videos. Appreciate you. Everybody saying bye to Liam. W. Didn't see that coming. Mad Wooten. Did you change your name? Because I thought it was Maddie Wooten. Or was I just saying it wrong the entire time? Can you react to some CEC Blender? I don't have any CEC Blender ready to go. So, unfortunately, I can't. That made my birthday week. Mr. Bob Tomato, happy birthday. We say happy, you say birthday. Happy. Happy.
Birthday.
Now clap your hands and stomp your feet. Have you gotten your Chuck gloves yet? They're coming. They're coming very soon. I also have a Helen plush on the way, but it's taking forever. I was about to ask when the next collab was going to be. You never know. I have surprises just out the wazoo. You guys never know what I'm doing next. I'm always... You know what that was? Cooking. Y'all, I'm always cooking. You never know. You never know what's about to happen on TayJay. I swear. I mean, I'm always cooking. I'm speechless. TayJay, it's time. What time is it for? Or what is it time for? Yo, I totally fumbled one of my lines earlier. I'm like, what's a favorite molded toy for? Oh, see, this is why I can't be a professional reporter if I'm live on the oh the boy, oh, oops. NKW Wrestling, hello, how are you? I had an eye after Mad and didn't realize it till the other day. Oh. Mad Eye Wooten? Maddie Wooten? Now it's just Mad Wooten. Why you mad? Why you mad, bruh? Why he mad? Guys, I do have one more surprise. Like I said earlier, you guys are gonna love it. You guys are gonna love it. My next surprise is at 8:30, and that will be the final surprise for the night. Guys, what do we... On. No, not a Q&A. Hold on. Poll. I'm making a poll. I know some of y'all are gonna be little trolls and vote for something else, but has this stream been a W or an L? Somebody's gonna put L. I think I'm hitting it out of the park. I've really been messing around with this OBS software, and I think it's been fun. It's a change of pace. You know, broadcasting out in the garage is always fun, and I think I could do this in the garage. There's no reason why I couldn't, right?
You just said it's cold.
No, I mean like when it warms up. Right now I'm not streaming in the garage because it's cold, obviously. But when it warms up, I will be back out there because there's a lot more fun stuff to see. But in the meantime, there's a Christmas tree. So, you know, we always have that. We always have that. Guys, what was your favorite moment of that interview? Let's talk about it. Or let's just get into the new topic. TayJay breaking news. TayJay breaking news here. That's what that sheet is, by the way. It's my question. It's my question list. So, I had all my questions on there for Liam. And I asked them all. So let's see. Mike Billy says, interview with Set Streets and Eats. That'd be crazy. That would be quite the surprise, honestly. That would be insane. Has this stream been a W or an L? 22 of you said W. Appreciate you guys. I was for sure one troll and there was going to say L, but no L's, honestly. Not mad. Short for Madison, Indiana, my hometown. Is that far from Anderson? I think you found me on my Anderson video. If you found me on my Anderson video, you must have been super surprised to see all the Chuck E. Cheese stuff. Like an urban explorer who's obsessed with Chuck E. Cheese. I'll be damned. I got so much so every once in a while when a video goes viral that's not my typical fan base, Chuck E. Cheese, it gets some very interesting comments. And there was one guy in the comments who was so pissed off that I was showing all the abandoned areas. He's like, you're only showing the bad parts of Anderson, and I hate this video because you didn't show any of the good things. And I didn't respond. I mean, there's no sense in responding to these people. But I'm sitting here thinking like, hold on, I gotta check something real quick. Rachel. All right, here's my spider scare again. In case you guys didn't see that, I'll be right back. There is a piece of a Studio C beta stage.
Here's the torso for the Studio C. I bought that a few weeks ago, sister.
Ah!
Don't fucking do that. What?
Wolf spider.
Where?
It just ran over there by the chair. It came out from underneath this freaking. Oh, I hate this time of year.
Here we go.
You guys literally just got my reaction on chat. I'm putting my legs up. Okay, guys. I'm trying to figure out some behind the scenes things. So bear with me. I want to be like on iCarly where, okay, we're good. My second surprise is about to happen here in about 15 minutes, guys. Bear with me. Might happen sooner. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, I feel like I'm on iCarly where I'm like, technical difficulties. Let me pull up a picture of a cat. Of a grandma eating a brick. Oh my god. We just, we got, you guys know that or maybe you do know. You saw that I got the Chuck E. Cheese Wii game. We had recently gotten a Wii and we bought all these Wii games for Chuck E. Cheese. Or we got all these Wii games for the Wii. God, I can't talk today. And we got an iCarly game. This is where I'm trying to go with this. And I don't know how many of you are fans of iCarly. I'm a huge fan of iCarly. And Rachel was playing the iCarly game, and then we were watching some iCarly, and I was just joking earlier. I'm like, this feels like iCarly with all the segments and stuff. I'm really enjoying using OBS to stream. You know, I used to just stream on my phone, and using software where I can go to countdowns, where I can show clips, like, you know, like, check out this Chuck's Arcade Playtimes.com posted. Stuff like that, you know. Obviously, I'm not about to show you the whole clip, but, you know, stuff like that, and it's a lot of fun, so I hope you guys are enjoying it, too. Let me see if I can get the silent go-ahead from our second surprise, see if we're all ready to go, or if we need some more time, but, okay, so it's looking like we're good. It's looking like we're good. So if that is to be said, guys, did you know that I'm going to do 2 interviews today? That's right, 2 interviews. And you guys can speculate who interview number 2 is. But let's talk about interview number 1 real quick. Liam was a lot of fun to interview. I think, oops, that was my bad. Let me do that again. This is my first time doing this, so every once in a while I'm like, whoops, I made a mistake. That was only my second time with him on my channel. And Liam's such a great guy. Obviously, he has that Jasper animatronic and was showing us about that, which was so freaking cool. And I know you guys really enjoyed seeing him. So, yeah, I think doing interviews on my live stream is a lot of fun. And I definitely think that doing this more in the long run is going to be really cool. So, enough about that, guys, because I think it's time for interview number 2. Now, let's go back to the top cameos, the top TayJay cameos for this year. You guys voted, and number 1, do you remember who I said number 1 was? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is Mr. Sets Streets and Eats himself. He is here. How? Wait, there it is. How are you doing today, Chris?
I'm good. I don't know if you can hear me.
We can hear you.
Okay, cool.
Everybody,
Awesome.
Can we hear him? I can hear you.
I wasn't sure. There was no indication.
Looks like you're in a hotel room. What city are you lurking around now?
Old Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, gonna have a bunch of fun collabs. We're filming tomorrow with Matt the Franchise and Rose and Peeler. So it's gonna be fun.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Matt, I have yet to go and check out his setup. It looks so cool. Jasper's Giant Star Diner. You ate some of the pizza he made there. Was it good?
Couple times, yeah. He's a very talented pizza maker. So yeah, he's a lot of fun.
I'm gonna have to tell him I need to come over to your apartment and try your pizza.
I am certain he'd be very excited to have you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. While we're over there, he's so close to Chuck E. Cheese headquarters. I might have to storm Chuck E. Cheese headquarters.
I know, man. I got to go in one time. They didn't let me film anything, but it was still cool to go.
I definitely think I want to see it, even if I can't film it. If they didn't let you film it, they're probably not going to let me film it. But definitely something I
you never know. Maybe you catch him on a good day. I don't know. I don't know exactly.
Mr. Kupferman is feeling good today.
Sure. Who knows? I mean, I don't know exactly when they allow it, because I've definitely seen footage from the corporate office on other people's stuff. But I don't know. I wasn't allowed to.
And then they showed SPT. And I don't know if you saw, they just made
I saw that
post about it.
You know how many times I've hit them up to let me come out there and just visit, possibly film some of it. It has never one time been receptive, or been, they've never been receptive to it.
Oh, yeah.
And it looked great. That was the first pictures I had seen of the inside of it. And I was like, that would make a great video. They got all kinds of cool stuff all over the walls. I don't know. I wish they were more open to it.
Now, I noticed they didn't have any animatronics in the pictures.
Oh, I noticed that too, because clearly, I don't know how big that place is, but we clearly know they've kept multiple stages worth of animatronics, which has to take up a good amount of room. They definitely didn't show it. There was definitely only in the game area. So yeah, I don't know. I'd love to go someday.
They do have some classic games in there, though. I saw the Bumblebee game, which is one of my favorite games. And anyways, thank you for being here today. I really appreciate you giving me some of your time, and the chat is ecstatic that you're here right now, as you can.
Oh, I'm so glad. Hi, guys.
Yep, they're all here watching. So I do have a series of questions to ask you, just like I just did with Liam here.
Sure.
I wanted to focus today on your general picture. I do have some Chuck E. Cheese questions for you, of course. But I do have a lot of questions about you and your channel in general. So let's just get into it. My very first question to you. I'm curious to hear about what connects you to the fandom, the love for Chuck E. Cheese, showbiz, and animatronics.
Well, I mean, I've probably talked about it before, but I do not mind talking about it again. I have one of those interesting journeys that I think is actually pretty common outside of the fandom today, and that is, I grew up with showbiz, then Chuck E. Cheese, worked at Chuck E. Cheese and Discovery Zone in high school and after high school. And then life kind of took over, got married, had a family, went to college and got jobs, you forget about them. And I had completely forgotten about showbiz. I didn't know there was a collecting fandom. I had no idea there was a fandom. I started this blog in 2019. I want to say it was in 2020. It was late 2020, I think it was, that I was at a convention in Huntington, West Virginia, and I was doing what I always do. I look up what's the best stuff to eat, around there, and go make a video. And I saw pictures of Billy Bob's. And right as soon as I saw the pictures of actually Billy Bob and then Fats, like, it didn't right away hit me what they were, but I was like, I know these. These were when I was a kid, and I was like, oh, that must be a Showbiz. Because again, blindly, I still didn't realize Showbizes were. I knew they were gone, but for some reason, I just thought it was some kind of a Showbiz, which it was. And then I told myself, yeah, it really is. I mean, he just changed the name because they made him. Otherwise, he would have to get rid of the Rocket Fire. But then I was like, I'll just swing by there because I really assumed Google was showing me some old images of something that had been closed down long ago.
Too good to be true.
Oh, I know, yeah. And so I just drove past it, and sure enough, and I walked in, and man, it was very surreal. The nostalgic wave that hit me. It really changed my channel from that night on. Like, all of a sudden I was like, not only do these exist now as an adult, I want to find out everything I can about these. And it's probably the same type of experience a lot of your viewers have and my viewers, where it doesn't matter the age. You could be 4 years old or my age. I was in my late 30s. Actually, I was in my 40s. You just, all of a sudden it connects, and it's like, okay, I'm about this now. Like, this is what feels like home. This is what I want to do. And that's when I found out about the fandom and everything else, and the collecting and everything that's out there. It was such an awesome surprise. Like, because again, I hadn't thought about them in 20, 30 years. And then all of a sudden, not only am I watching them, it was like, there's fans of these. And I don't know, it was really, really cool because I grew up being a Star Wars fan, and I always loved going to Star Wars Celebration conventions, being around like-minded fans of that fandom. And animatronics had the same feel with the fandom. It was like, oh, you have this thing that you can talk to these other people about. And it felt really cool. So honestly, my I guess exposure to the fandom has been very recent, just in the last 4 or 5 years. It just reconnected me with some of my childhood loves, and I'm very grateful for it.
Awesome. I definitely understand. Like, you find something that like touches like a piece of you that like reminds you of your childhood.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And then it's like there's a whole fandom for it, and you get lost in like the obsession. It's like, oh my God, so many people love this just like I do. I thought it was weird. I mean, I was working at Starbucks at the time, and I remember like I started going to work talking about Chuck E. Cheese, and like my coworkers who were like older teenagers or early 20s, they're just like, girl, what's going on with you? What are you talking about Chuck E. Cheese for? They're like, you mean the place that recycles pizza? Like,
Boy, I hear that a lot. Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, that is interesting to hear, and I definitely think that a lot of people have some sort of similar feeling of reigniting that childhood spark.
I think so too. I definitely run into that when I've shared that story with other people. And it's interesting because just doing this, and I'm sure you've run into it too, when people find out, just normal people find out what you do or whatever, and the subject matter, you see a lot of them have that glint in their eye of, oh, I love physics. It's like they're almost, just because you're in it, they're adjacent to you, and they're like, yeah, like it's so popular, and people don't even realize how big of a fans they are of it until they're exposed to it as adults. It's one of those things that's just easy to forget about when you grow up, and then
absolutely
you can't forget it once you get exposed to it again.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful experience, though. I mean, so do you have a favorite personal memory of Showbiz or Chuck E. Cheese?
I have. Well, what's funny is I always had a memory I thought was the same place. And it wasn't until I visited Smitty's Super Service Station in Mississippi that I found out I was putting two memories together. And then I finally got to investigate it more. And so the memory I had was crawling underneath the stage in the lit up tunnels coming out, looking out, and seeing Fats on the organ. Well, I'm combining Chuck E. Cheese Pizza Time Theater when I went for what turned out to be my sister's 9th birthday. We went to the Lansing, Michigan location.
Okay.
And they, of course, had the cheese crawl underneath the stage. And of course, up on top, it would have been a balcony stage or whatever of the boss. This would have been 1984. And so I have that memory of playing there, but because that was in Lansing, Michigan, we didn't have a Chuck E. Cheese Pizza Time Theater in Flint, Michigan, where I grew up. We only had Showbiz. So I went to Showbiz more often. And so I had combined my Fats memory with that Chuck E. Cheese Pizza Time Theater. But I got to find that out at Smitty's in real time just because he's got a cheese crawl, and I told him about it. Of course, he was like, yeah, that wasn't at Showbiz. That was only Pizza Time Theater. And I'm like, oh, that's true. It was. So, yeah. So I guess I still love that memory, though. It's my favorite memory is looking up at Fats, which I probably just did at the Showbiz in my hometown multiple times going there as a kid. And but I've combined the cheese crawl with it. So I like that memory.
Yeah, well, I mean, it would be one heck of an experience to see something as big and spooky as Fats. Dare I say spooky? I mean, I love animatronic, but sometimes they do get that uncanny feeling. And
my sister was terrified. Yeah, totally. And I loved them, but my sister wouldn't even go in the showroom when we went to either Showbiz or Pizza Time Theater. She was terrified of them. And I didn't know that when I was a kid. I just thought she was playing in the arcade. But I used to run to the showroom and then, I'd play arcade too, but I was always about, the animatronics. And without really knowing I was always about them. I didn't realize that till the last few years. But yeah, that's it does go either way. A lot of kids have that same thing. They're either terrified of them or they absolutely love them. It's very common, either reaction.
Oh man, absolutely. Well, so since we're talking about Chuck E. Cheese stages and maybe getting some mixed up, out of all of the Chuck E. Cheese stage types, what's your favorite?
Well, it's probably going to be a 3-stage just because until I started doing this vlog, and this is the honest guy's truth, I thought every Chuck E. Cheese and Showbiz had the same 3-stage because that's the only one I ever knew in Flint, Michigan. When ours went from Showbiz to Chuck E. Cheese, they just retrofitted the 3-stage. And even when I worked there, it was a 3-stage. So it was always a 3-stage. And, you kind of quit going there, you move on with life. Now I had done multiple birthday parties for my kids when they were younger. One in St. Louis that had it was a Studio C stage. But I didn't really think much about it. And then we had my daughters both had Chuck E. Cheese birthday parties in Paducah, Kentucky, where I live, and they always had a 3-stage. So again, it wasn't until I started doing this that I found out there was all these different stage types.
Oh yeah.
And so 3-stage would be my favorite, but my second favorite would be the fact that my first not 3-stage store that I went to doing the vlog was the Rocker stage in Rockford, Illinois.
I knew it. I knew you were going to say the Rocker stage. I don't know. I knew how much you liked that stage.
Well, there's nothing you can even say. It was the coolest stage I've ever seen. It was gone a month later. And it was just the coolest day. I had never seen anything like it. I had never even seen a picture. I was just blown away. But again, I had just visited Smitty's and Damon had told me about it. And he said they were about to close. And I was like, well, I'll be up in that area. And I just kind of went the next week. And sure enough, I got to catch it. And so I would say that's my second favorite, just because it was here for an instant, as far as I'm concerned, me noticing it, and then it was gone. So it's the only one I ever got to see.
Was it like massive in person to see?
Yeah, you walk in and it's like, and I knew I was walking into a porch, a house porch stage, but then when you're standing in front of it, you're like, this is like, they built a house in here, at least the front half of it, and it's like, holy cow, like this is really cool. And I just had no idea those existed. And they had been existing for decades, and I had no clue. I thought every Chuck E. Cheese had a 3-stage.
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't know much about that either until I saw your video on it. That was actually what introduced me to the Rocker stage. So I
Sure.
think not too long after you figured out there was a rocker stage, I guess I did too, because
Yeah.
I had
Sure.
actually seen your videos before I started doing my own. So,
That's so cool.
well,
Yeah, actually that was an important video for me because up to that point I'd just been getting into the fandom. I had already visited Smitty's and Billy Bob's in Huntsville's, which was another incredible 3-stage. It's so disappointing that it's gone, but I hadn't really developed the idea for what this was going to be for my channel. I just thought I would filter these in every once in a while. And it was something about that rocker stage that was like, oh, I need to go see every one of these stages. Like, there's this has to be different. And also, after I did that rocker stage video, I started watching any videos I could find of Chuck E. Cheese visits just to see other stages. And I quickly realized there was very few videos out there that talked about the history of the stages. Most of them were just shaky camera videos of the animatronics performing. And I was like, well, why, what's that song from? What show tape's that from? Why does that stage look like that? And so you start researching it online and you discover, okay, I know this stuff now. Well, why can't I find a video that tells this stuff? So that Rockford video was really, really big for my channel as far as just showing me a path of a lot of different videos that I was super into, and I didn't know it. I kind of discovered it right after it.
I love it. I love that. I love the whole how you got into it and how it, kind of like overcame you for a while. Like, I got to see all of these now. And I remember that
Totally.
era of Set Streets and Eats when it was just like Chuck E. Cheese visit, Chuck E. Cheese visit.
That's
but
true.
After so long.
Yeah, the 21, 22.
Yeah, I mean, after so long, you get labeled a Chuck E. Cheese YouTube and a YouTuber, and you're not. You're actually so much more.
Right.
And I've been really enjoying the other content you're making lately. All the history you get into.
Yeah.
And so my next question, in getting
I love the
all
history.
that, you do a lot of restaurant history and stuff like that. So I know you know your restaurants. So if you had to go to one restaurant for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh, see, that's the problem. I do know restaurants, and I know how many great ones are out there. That's really a tough thing to pick. I mean, I'll be honest with you. My first love is probably pizza. Second love would be Mexican food. But I don't know if I could pick a pizza place. I mean, Billy Bob's, I absolutely adore their pizza and their cheese bread, and have the Rockefeller. I that a last meal for me. That would be a great place to go, for sure. Billy Bob's is where it's at. Yeah, I would pick Billy Bob's probably.
Billy Bob's, that's crazy. You would think, I feel like these animatronic pizzerias get a bad rep for having like horrible food. But it's like, dude, Billy Bob's pizza and their cheesy bread. You know how much I go off about my cheesy bread. I mean, Billy Bob's, they top the Chuck E. Cheese cheesy bread. Oh my God, they're amazing.
Phenomenal.
And it's a whole pizza. It's a whole pizza of it. It's insane. So,
and it's so good.
Billy Bob's pizza and cheesy bread, top notch, and it's so greasy, but in a good way. Melts in your mouth, and
it does.
I remember. I think it was last November, I was driving home all the way from New York. I drove all the way to New York, did some videos all the way back home, and I brought home Rachel a pizza from Billy Bob's. And so I drove. That was a pizza delivered over the course of 5 hours, but it's so worth it. Their pizza is delicious.
Oh my God. I throw it in the oven, put a little olive oil on the crust, and it is good to go. I love Billy Bob's pizza at home.
Beautiful. It hits so well. So we're talking about talking about restaurants and talking about our favorite memories of the past and the nostalgia. Unfortunately, as you know, and as a lot of us know in the chat here, modernization is really kicking our asses. And with that being said, how do you feel about the retail and fast food culture and how it's changing?
You know what? I think part of me, and maybe this just got ingrained into me doing all the Chuck E. Cheese videos, but I feel like I'm hurrying to document fast food history and restaurant history just as fast because I feel like it's just going away rapidly. Because I started doing the Mansard Roof McDonald's during the Chuck E. Cheese videos because they were disappearing every week.
Mm-hmm.
There was only a few left anyway. So I just started doing videos at any one of them I saw, and found some incredible locations. And then there would be locations I would go to and find out 2 weeks later they had closed or they had been torn down and rebuilt in the new modern look. And that's kind of what led me down this path of doing fast food history videos, because I also quickly realized, just like with the Chuck E. Cheese stages, there's not a ton of information out there. And it's history, just like World War II history or
Exactly.
presidential history. It's still history. And I would argue fast food and restaurant history is almost more important to showing who we are as a people. It's definitely, in fact, that's why my playlist on my channel for my fast food stuff is called The Food That Shaped Us, because it shaped us not only in our bodies, but also just in how our culture is. Fast food culture has been a massive influence on Americans. And there's not a lot of documentation of its history. And so much of it's already been lost without it being documented. So I think that's been, I am worried. I know in a few years, fast food places won't have humans working in them. That all that character will, of course, been designed right out of them. They'll be robotic. I don't think the food's going to get better. It's a real bummer because it's such a huge part of American history it feels like it's kind of coming to an end. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. I think that's kind of where this is going. So I just want to try to document as much of its past history as I can before it's gone.
That's such a somber feeling. Like
I know.
knowing that this is probably not going to exist anymore and just trying to enjoy it as it's dying out. Like,
yeah,
it's
that's exactly right.
It's like trying to enjoy your last moments with a family member who it's their final days.
Who's on hospice? Yeah, it really is. It really is. It's a bummer.
God. Well, I mean, that kind of answers my next question of what you think the fast food industry is going to look like in 10 years from now.
Yeah, it's going to be robots. And in fact, we're going to have robots in homes. We're going to have them. A lot of our culture is going to change in the next decade. I think some of it's going to be really cool, but technology doesn't honor history very well. Technology is all about future. It doesn't think about the past. And when you go to fully technology, it's going to open some cool avenues, but it's up to humans to have an eye on where we came from and to document that, because AI computers or robots, they're not going to care. They might know facts, but they don't care about human history. Humans have to care about it. And as we go more and more digital, I think that history needs to be preserved just like the rest of our history.
I agree. I mean, there's only so much character you can really put in when AI is taking over all the algorithms. And I mean, I know you and I both have struggled with the YouTube AI algorithm and how it thinks that people know what they want to watch. But, you know, heck, even 10 years ago, YouTube wasn't all about that. It was about, here's who you're subscribed to. You found this person's channel organically and you were like, oh, I love what they're doing, so I want to see more of it. Nowadays, YouTube's like, nah, screw all that. No, here's what you like, because you watched one video about people dribbling basketball. So now here's a whole thing about basketball dribbling competitions, random stuff. And it's like,
100%.
It's like, God forbid I watched one video about this. Now YouTube thinks I'm in love with it. Like,
or even not even look at it. Look at it in your feed and just roll your mouse over it and it plays a little bit. All of a sudden, it just starts showing more of those videos start showing up in your feed. And it does shuttle the creators that you followed for a long time just out of your feed. And sometimes you don't even notice they're gone till a month or two later. And you're like, hey, I've been watching that every week and now it's been gone. And you're just put in the back. It's a bummer. I do know, again, I hate to, AI is really a cool tool. I think it's a very important tool, not in art, but in everything else. I think it's a very cool tool. Unfortunately, YouTube has let AI take over their algorithms and how people find videos. And it is what it is. Us small channels just kind of have to tread water and hope we can keep making it. I know it's probably annoyed a lot of our viewers, but I've gone to making, cutting up old videos into shorts, and they're pretty much in everyone's feed, which is probably annoying, but it's about the only way to keep your content in front of eyes. And it's really over the last 2 months that I've been doing it. The first month was terrible, and then finally this last few weeks, it's really made a big difference. So I can't really say they weren't worth it. I think the shorts have been very important to get me out of that hole that YouTube brought me in. But I'm not rare. It's going on for most small channels on YouTube right now. We're all kind of struggling with it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's what we got to deal with now. So that's just kind of the now that we're dealing with. And but anyways, we're gonna struggle. We're gonna struggle through it. Like you said, we're gonna tread water, and we'll get out the other side. Okay. I mean, at the end of the day, I think what's most important is that we do what we love, and that's my advice to all of you in the chat. Just do what you love,
100%.
and the right people will find you. With that being said, you do what you love all the time, and you travel and you go to conventions. And with that being said, you have visited so many cities, so many conventions. What's your favorite out of them all?
It changes every year. Like, I've had conventions that were my favorite, I look forward to all the time, and then the next year they're terrible. And you're like, okay, well, I don't want to go back to this one.
I heard Steel City Con is like that.
Steel City's like that. I will say it was just this past weekend. The last, they do 3 shows a year. It was back to being awesome, but the previous 2 shows this year were terrible. So it's just one of those things that it changes so much. I love Steel City because that's where I see the most stuff, like vintage toys, McDonald Land stuff. I've bought showbiz stuff there. It's the one show that you can kind of find in the Comic Con world that has the most relevant stuff to our hobby. I will say this, last year, or I guess still this year, back in May, Motor City Comic Con, I found 4 different booths that had showbiz stuff and Chuck E. Cheese. 4 different. It was the most I'd ever seen at a convention. I couldn't believe it. I spent way too much money at that convention. And it was like, because I was so stunned to finally find this stuff out there. It's so rare that it pops up. So, again, right now, Steel City's probably back in my good graces as one of my favorites, but I used to love New York Comic Con, and that's kind of a grind to get through now. And I used to love going to conventions in Portland, Oregon, and those have been kind of, they've fallen off, and I kind of I'm not going to go back this next year. And so it definitely changes. I think the best part of my job is the travel in between, honestly. Because not only do I I make my own schedule, so I know what shows I'm going to, but being able to, like this, I'm on my way to a convention in Midland, Texas this weekend. Mm-hmm. I was going to be right through Dallas, and I was like, haven't been in a few months. I called Matt and called Charlie and Dan and got together with everybody, planned some videos. It's stuff like that I get to do on my way to my job. That really makes it makes me love what I do. And I think that's why I probably will keep doing videos, because I haven't gotten to the point where I'm just making them for anyone else. I make all my videos for me. I love it when other people like them, but I don't plan. I've never one time, YouTube has a lot of these tools, and you've probably seen them, of idea generator and things like what's hot? What can I make a video about? I've never once ever clicked one of those. I don't, because that doesn't interest me. I don't really want to do videos that are on brand or whatever's hot this moment. I like making the videos I make, and that's what I like doing. And sometimes I'll finish a video and I'll think it's awesome, and it gets 200 views a year later still, and it's such a bummer. But I also love that I loved that video that much.
Yes.
And I feel that way about all my videos I put out. Not all of them are going to be as good as the last, or whatever, because as you know, making weekly content is a grind. And you know, it's just how it is. And
God,
but I
people
still
don't know. People have no idea, man.
know it is a grind. Oh my god! Like even after this, I've got probably several hours of editing to do tonight, and research for tomorrow's videos. And yeah, and that's normal. That's like every day. There's always several hours of editing, research, travel to whatever it is, and that's every single day. You know,
Yeah.
it's just
It's a
how it
full-time
goes.
job.
100%, 100%.
God. Well, so it sounds like your favorite conventions and cities, they change yearly. One
Yeah,
area might be great one year, and then next year you go and it just sucks. So
that's
that
true.
that sounds that sounds about on par. Since we're talking about conventions, I know that you are creating your own coming up here soon.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it got postponed from
Yeah.
November of this year to a to be decided date next year,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah,
So
we're
tell me more
toying with
about
a
that.
few other dates. Yeah, I'll so basically Retro Eats Expo, again, it's a celebration of everything that we all love. And those conventions don't exist. Like there's several out there called like RetroCon and NostalgiaCon. Those are actually celebrity autograph shows where basically they'll take TV shows from the 80s and 90s and bring in like the whole cast of them, and people come out, you know, and do their autograph thing, which is nothing wrong with that at all. But what I wanted to do is create a convention for us. And I'll just tell you, like, I was really bummed we had to postpone. We had some factors that happened that we just couldn't get around it. Also, but another huge factor of it was the fact that very few people bought tickets. And it was, and a lot of that time I put that on my shoulders of I'm not explaining it properly or I'm not getting the word out enough. But I had so many cool things lined up. You were going to walk into this convention and you were going to see a booth that just sold animatronics, over 10 of them. You were going to see actual working animatronics, like from Pizza Time Theater Days, Circus World Pizza. Like you were going to be seeing those actually operating on the floor with little history boards next to them that told you the history about them. You were going to see, you know, dealers that just sold McDonald's collectibles, you know, old Happy Meal toys and advertising signs.
This sounds like a dream.
Yeah, exactly. It was, and I wanted to set that up for it to be like that, where you were like, oh, that's so cool. Oh my God, that's so cool. And you were going to see all these artists that had created all the artwork that you had grown up loving with animatronics and fast food history and all that. Anyway, I'm willing to admit the idea is a little bit ahead of its time, at least in the convention world. Again, there's nothing else like it. So it's hard for people to wrap their minds around it. And a lot of people, I think, wanted to wait and see how that first one goes. I get that. I totally get that. But we're going to keep trying and hopefully get it off the ground. I really think once people see it, you'll never want to miss another one.
I'll be there at the first one. I already know. Just in what you just told me now, that sells it for me. It sounds like a dream come true. And I'm curious, just for my own personal curiosity, is there any Toys R Us stuff there?
Oh yeah, I had a Jeffrey. I had Corey was giving me one of his Jeffrey the giraffe cosplays to walk around, have a person then walking around taking pictures.
Oh,
There
man.
would have been old vintage Toys R Us stuff. Yeah, it's when it happens, it's going to be amazing. But I guess the present needs to catch up to it a little bit. I got to do a better job of getting the word out. But right now we're on pause because we have to finalize the dates. But well, as soon as they are finalized, everyone will hear about it.
Is it still going to be in Columbus, Ohio?
Right now, yes.
Okay.
However, we are considering a couple other options. But
Okay.
right now, yes.
Okay. I know Columbus, Ohio isn't too far from me. If the convention is right, I will travel farther, and this sounds exciting. So you got me excited about it, and
Right on.
I hope the chat's excited about it too.
I hope so
Yeah,
too.
I'll definitely be there. I'll definitely be making a video of it and
Cool.
supporting the convention, supporting my fellow creators, and
That would
yeah,
be awesome.
absolutely. I don't know why I would miss something like that. So
Well,
yeah, I'm very excited about that. That's something to look forward to next year. As far as this year goes, for a year in review of 2025, what's your favorite accomplishment if you have one?
Ooh, that's a good question. 2025, man, I did a lot this year. Well, I'd say one was recent, was finally getting to see the Rockefeller dressed for Christmas at the Bolo. I've never seen that in my entire life. So it was such a cool surprise. I mean, I knew I was going there, but I had no idea they were dressing him up. That was awesome. BillyCon, last 2 years, that's been a high point. You know, it's hard to top BillyCon, just the vibe of it.
So much fun.
It's so much fun. There's that. What else is there? Man, that is tough. Trying to think of some of my favorite videos I've made this year. Maybe that'll trigger it, but I definitely have enjoyed finding the last few Chuck E. Cheese stages. I've done probably 3 or 4 fresh stages videos this year. There's still a couple out there I haven't been to that still somehow are holding on to their little single animatronics. But yeah, it's I think BillyCon and the Bolo Christmas Rockefeller are right up there. They got to be close to even there. Some of my favorite moments for sure.
Your vendor space at BillyCon was amazing, by the way. The giant Billy Bob blanket. I hope whoever won that is.
I got him right here too. I actually sleep with him every night.
That's beautiful.
That's my guy.
That is beautiful.
He goes with me to every hotel room.
Nice and soft too.
Absolutely. Love that blanket.
Oh man. Well, I'm excited to see what you have in store for next year. Speaking of next year, can you tell me one of your goals?
Boy, that's a good question too. I almost never think of it in that way, even though I totally should. Yeah, I don't know why I don't. And you know what? I guess I know why. It's because my videos are almost always based on where I'm going. And that schedule is always in flux because I'm always changing the schedule or booking something else. And then after I know where I'm going, that's when I look at what's the possibilities of filming. So I think that's why I've gotten in the mode of not setting goals, but I don't know. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful to see some more private collections that aren't really documented well. I'm very hopeful for that. There's a few out there that are kind of reclusive, and I totally understand why. And I know, but I've been working on them. I'm always looking for stuff like that, and not just animatronics, but I'm interested in a lot of different collections. If someone's got like an 80s and 90s, 70s or whatever toy collection, I'd love to go see stuff like that. So I guess I think that would be a goal, is to do more private collections. I think those are fun because they're not something that you see a lot of videos about. Obviously, there's famous collections out there that people do videos at, but I think it'd just be fun to go find some ones that have hardly been documented at all, because people do amazing things in their own home, and they really, really do.
It's crazy. You don't know what's out there. I mean, it's like I know that my personal collection, I mean, my neighbors can see it when I open up my garage door, but I can only imagine, you come home one day and your neighbor's garage door is open and you see a whole Chuck E. Cheese in there and you're like, what 100%. The hell? Like, you never know what's going on and what people have. And I think these collections are so much fun. And I have fallen head over heels in this nostalgic retail and restaurant nostalgia collections and stuff. I mean, do you remember going to Kmart and the giant circular vents on the ceiling?
Vents, oh yeah, for sure.
I saw 100%. A picture on Facebook of somebody had one of those in their garage.
That's cool.
So, I mean, people have some crazy collections out there.
They really do.
God, I was gonna say that is all my questions for you, but if you don't mind, I was gonna look at the chat and tell you a few things people are saying, because I think I saw some questions earlier.
That'd be awesome.
Let's see. Did anybody have questions for Chris? I'm gonna. Everybody's here. They've been listening very intently. Sad that Rockford Jasper is a mannequin now. Yeah, absolutely. Anybody have any last minute questions for Chris? I know my stream is delayed like 15 seconds at least. So somebody said, does Chris have any collections?
Oh yes. Here's the thing. I wish I had them better displayed. Otherwise, I would have done a video on them. But I've got a pretty large McDonald's collection now, and honestly, I've expanded. I've got really cool pieces, a ton of Showbiz, bunch of Chuck E. Cheese, um, and even I've gotten just recently in the last few months Major Magic's collectibles. I'm trying to think what else. I've got a bunch. So I've always had a massive Star Wars collection. I probably have 30 giant totes full of Star Wars collectibles, but I now have almost 10 totes of other collectibles and two cases in my house that are full, like showcases full of stuff. I was going through so any paper goods or flat goods I put into portfolios. I've got 4 of those now that are full. I've got a lot of stuff, hundreds and hundreds of items. So yeah, I do collect constantly. I have every McDonald's pop out there. There's 33 of them, box sets and regular ones. I got every single one of those. And I'm not even a fan of pops, but because there's only, so few action figure lines out there of this stuff,
Right.
I gotta get something. It's calling to me. Yeah, so I definitely actively collect. I've got several people in the con world that are always looking and picking for me, and emailing me, and I'll pass them off to other collectors if I don't want, what they're offering. So yeah, collecting has been a new thing. Well, I've always been a collector, but this kind of collecting's been in the last few years, probably 3 or 4 years. It's really gotten big for me. I enjoy it very much.
Collecting is addicting. Once you get like one thing and you're like, okay, now I need the next. Now I need to finish the set. And it's so funny because as collectors, we'll carry totes of stuff that we never see again, or at least we won't see it for years. I know I have like a bunch of wrestling stuff in my attic. I have like Pokemon stuff up there, like VHSs and stuff like that. So yeah, collecting is a lot of fun, and it's crazy the things that we do. I never knew that I would be a collector one day, but like I said, one day it just kind of happens. So one more question for you. It sounds like somebody wants to know if you visit many places in Indiana.
I mean, yes. Well, I mean, I've been through there a million times. I've done a few videos there over the years. I think I hit all the Chuck E. Cheeses, but I missed one of them before they closed. I think it was it Washington? Did I do it? No, I think I did it at Washington.
I think you missed Columbus because they closed a couple years ago.
Okay. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. But yes, I definitely go through Indiana quite often. I'm trying to think what other videos I've done in Indiana. I don't know. At this point, I'm coming up on my 500th vlog, but I've done over 650 or 670 videos total.
To keep track of, right?
But as far as vlogs, yeah, really, I know. I mean, as far as vlogs go, I think I'm coming up on my 500 soon. But yeah, I don't know. They all start blending. Well, thank you. Yes, I think it will be within the next month or two, maybe a couple months. I don't remember exactly what number I'm on, but yeah, it's getting close.
Awesome. Well, yeah, congratulations on almost hitting 500 videos, by the way. That's insane. You came from humble beginnings and look where you're at now. It's insane.
I've risen from the bottom to the middle-ish, lower middle-ish, whatever. But, I definitely enjoy doing it.
You got people who will travel across the country to meet you. So,
that's
like I was telling Liam, and I'll say to you too, I feel like subscriber count only matters so much because you have so much interaction, and it only takes a handful of people to create a fan base, and you definitely have your own fan base.
That's very true. I agree with that completely. I think the community that I've gotten to be a part of and helped grow, that's been way cooler. You're right. Subscriber count really only matters, I think, it matters to me in one way, and it's probably the same for every other YouTuber. It's always in pursuit of that button. the 100,000 button or the more, whatever. But I don't even think about that often. It's just like when I think of subscriber count as a total, I'm like, okay, I've got to get 40 more thousand. You do that in the back of your head, but it never factors into what videos I'm making or who I'm interacting with on my videos. It is more about the community, and my community is probably incredibly smaller than what my subscriber count is. And I think that's probably true of everybody's. You have those few hundred people, sometimes 1,000 people that not only watch everything you do, but they interact with you. And that's really the best part about it is that stuff.
That's what's most important. And I've had you here for so long. I'm so sorry. There is one more question, and I think it's a good question. Do you mind answering one more?
Sure.
Okay. One more good question, and we'll go ahead and end the stream here. CC Fan Entertainment wants to know what made you come up with the hashtag Save Pineville.
So, that's a good question. What was that? That was during the real push, like everything coming out of corporate. Keep in mind, there was no such thing as a legacy stage yet. And I remember going to Northridge when, before they remodeled, right? And everyone that, had talked to me about Northridge was like, it's coming. This place is a time capsule. It's amazing, but it's going to get gutted. And it was such a bummer. And I was like, I remember, I think my second video at Northridge, I remember thinking about it on my way to Northridge. I was going to stop because they were about to start the remodel there, and I had just heard about it, and I happened to be in California, and I was like, you know what, this is such a bummer. We can't save this one, but no, I know what it was. They had started the remodel, but they had announced that the stage was staying. That's what it was, and we still didn't know that yet. It was before they had announced what a legacy stage was, all that. But I was like, that was the first time as fans that we got to see that they were paying attention to us, the corporate.
Okay, yep.
It was like, whoa, wait a minute. We've been making all this uproar online, all this stuff about we hate that you're tearing out these animatronics and all this. And all of a sudden, you're taking a store that was an incredible store, and you're saying we're saving the you're going to keep the animatronics in there. And that was the first time that I had a glimpse of, holy cow, if they'll save this one, they might save another one. And Pineville was the most obvious choice. They had already gutted Huntsville, which arguably, and I may get some crap for this, but Huntsville's 3-stage, I would say, was slightly better than Pineville's. It was a really incredible stage, and it was loved. It was taken care of, and they had already gutted it. It was gone. It didn't exist anymore. And like so many of these Chuck E. Cheese locations. And I remember on my way to that Northridge, I was like, if this one, we accidentally saved this one. I don't know how that worked, but it accidentally happened. We might be able to save Pineville. And so at that Northridge visit, I did a Save Pineville video, and everybody took to it. And it felt like not only was it fun to actively try because we finally knew we could have a say, it felt like inevitable. Like there's no way this many people using that hashtag and talking about it, they can't ignore it. And lo and behold, they couldn't, and keep in mind, they finished that Northridge Legacy stage, had the opening, and at that opening, McKillips was even saying, this is the only one. That was what every article was. We're going to have one stage in the whole world, or at least in the nation. And that was at the height of the Save Pineville push. And lo and behold, we now have 6 of them. So, it just goes to show you, fans do have a say. We didn't know we had a say, but we really did have a say. And it felt really good. It was really cool to have something and then to watch Chuck E. Cheese corporate really embrace the legacy stage. Like at Pineville, they had no reason to put a museum in there, and they filled it with the coolest collectibles. Nobody asked for that. We had no idea. And and that was just amazing to watch and be a part of. That's where that came from. I'm so glad that we were able to do it, and everybody kind of rallied behind it. It really made a big difference, and now we have those stores to visit still.
Well, you definitely had a big voice, and you used it for the good of Chuck Kind. So appreciate you very
All Chuck
much.
kind.
Yes, all Chuck Kind.
Yeah.
I kept you long enough. I'm so sorry we went
Oh,
over
you're
our time,
fine.
but I really appreciate you answering these questions and
Sure.
picking your brain on things. I'm excited to hear more about the Retro Eats Expo when that happens. So definitely keep us posted. I will
Will do.
definitely be there. And that's it. So thank you very much for joining, and I hope you
My
have a
pleasure.
wonderful rest of your night. Do you have anything else to say to the chat?
Just thanks for watching, guys. Really glad you guys show up for both Taylor and I's videos. We really couldn't do this without you guys, and well, we could. It would be less fun though. Just appreciate it, and thanks for watching.
All right. I appreciate you. Thanks for your time. All right.
Bye,
Goodbye.
Taylor.
All right, guys. That's the stream. A little bit different than usual, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it. My streams, like I've said before, you never know what's gonna happen. And tonight, I had a lot planned for you guys. Tonight, I spent all day researching how to work this damn software to get these interviews for you guys and to just cap off 2025. We have a few more weeks and I have a few more exciting videos to show you guys to end 2025. This Sunday is an exciting one where I go to a place I've never been before, and it does have to do with animatronics. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this. I know I did. And let's see. I mean, let me look at the chat before I sign off. Let me look at the chat. Let's see here. 7 if you're counting Puerto Rico. Mad that Northridge got 2.0. Northridge was the first 2.0 and it just didn't. Well, Northridge was the first. No, okay, sorry. Northridge was the first location that got 2.0 and the animatronics were saved, and they didn't do a very good job at like making sure that everything still looked retro, but I feel like they did that a little better now. I don't know. Northridge, they could have kept the art, they didn't. So early Christmas present from TayJay. Thanks for the awesome stream. You're welcome, Mad Wooten. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I know you really enjoy my well, at least I think you do really enjoy my Dead Retail Series videos. More coming soon in 2026. More Indiana locations. Eventually, I will be branching out to other states, but no need to yet. Indiana is a plethora for abandoned places. Yeah, guys, that's it. So, thank you, Rachel, for the amazing stream. You're sitting right here, but thank you so much. Rachel, do you have anything?
No.
You appreciate everybody for this year and all the happy memories?
Yep. Spot on.
Rachel hates being like put on the spot like that. Pizza Dog says that he has one question. I'm waiting for your question. I'm awaiting the question because we're about to sign off. I need a sign off video. I had a countdown, but I didn't put a sign off video. I need a sign off video.
What do you do?
Just a little outro like, thanks for watching TayJay Live. Something like that.
Okay, you're cute. You're cute.
Tay, one last thing. Okay, then say it! Then say it!
You got one question.
I'm thinking about getting one of those Jackbox party packs. What one should I get? The only one I know is the one I have, which I think is either 4 or 5. But I definitely want to buy more and play more with you guys. Are you Helen in disguise? Bob?
That's your one thing you
TayJay, ow! And then dubstep music. Okay. Alright, guys. That's it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Liam and Chris Bauer on one TayJay stream? What? Alright. Drops mic. See you guys on the next one. Goodbye.